How are you this Tuesday evening? Glad to see you here. This is a very layered topic tonight, so let's get the business out the way right away. Welcome to another episode of On the Block with Jen. I'm your favorite bad girl and your favorite devil's advocate, Jen. You can reach me on all social media platforms, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. You can also reach me at ontheblock at Gmail if you would like to suggest a topic, if you want to do a collaboration, okay? If you want to interview me, or you want me to partake in someone else's interview, throw it in at Gmail, okay? I get a lot of mail in there, right? Doesn't mean that I'm going to see your topic or even pick it. Right? So make sure you make it noticeable, do it in all capital letters or whatever you have to do. Because I pick basically something I think would be interesting for my audience and my panel to dissect. Okay. So throw it in there. On the Block with Jen at Gmail is where you could contact me for business. If you want to see me act up all the way, go to TikTok, go to Instagram, On the Block with Jen on both of those. Okay. If you want to support the show, you guys already know what it is. I'm also on the Block with Jen at Cash App if you're not going to use the super chat. And yes, Cash App is open 24 hours a day. You will be helping Mama keep the church lights on. This costs money, believe it or not. I make it look easy, but it costs some money, okay? So if you want to Cash App me, if you're catching the replay and you like my content, feel free to shoot a Cash App at me. I may be doing my dishes, laundry. I may be asleep. My phone will ring. And there you be, you and your Cash App. So I'll get it 24 hours a day. And I appreciate all of you who do Cash Apps when I'm not even on air. Appreciate you a lot. A lot of you people have given me Cash Apps just to thank me for the content, and I'm not even live. So I appreciate you much, much, much. Thank you so much for that, sincerely, because y'all ain't got to do jack. So the fact that you do, and I know we all work hard for our money, I appreciate you wholeheartedly for that, okay? So let me take care of some more business, right? Because you guys may not know. First of all, welcome to all my new subbies. Hi, babies. Buckle up. It gets bumpy here, okay? You're not going to like what we say all the time, but this is the podcast you can come to where everybody's shooting straight from the hip, right? We don't always agree because we're not supposed to. I keep telling you guys that you get so perturbed when someone disagrees with you, but that is life. That's the real world. Social media has conditioned us that every time someone says something we don't like, you could send a mob of 500 people after them and change their mind. You're not changing minds, okay? No one's changing minds here. We are sharing thoughts and emotions and feelings and ideas and opinions. That is all we're doing here. And sometimes, every now and then, someone gets swayed, or at the very least, someone sees things a different way. And I like to make you think, okay? The best compliment people give me is, I never thought about it that way. But that's interesting. That's a great compliment for me. That's what I like to do, bring you things from a different spin, hence devil's advocate, okay? Another thing I want to say is I don't just appear here and hit live, okay? I do my little research. I look for stories I think would be interesting to my audience. That is not the time. Once I post what I'm about to talk about in my community tab or on my Instagram, that is not the time that you come and tell me what I should add to it, right? That's what On the Block with Jen at Gmail is. If you have a suggestion, you throw it in there. You don't run to my comments and say, oh, add this to it and add that to it, or else you would have a podcast, right? But since I'm here and I'm creating this to the best of my ability for your entertainment, my panel and I, when I post what I'm about to talk about, that's not when you come running in to add to it. And don't forget this person and don't forget that person and add this person too. No, sir. You got to go On the Block with Jen at Gmail if you have a suggestion for me. The day of the show is not when you suggest. With that said, if you want to add to my topic, that is what you click the link for. Everyone is welcome on my panel. And I mean everyone, long as you don't act the monkey ass fool up here, everyone is welcome. You guys know another thing I don't do is we don't argue with these motherfuckers, the ones that hide behind their avatars, right? We don't talk to you guys up here. That was 2022. 2023, you got to say it with your face, okay? Plus, we want to see your face. Faces make for better conversations, okay? So we'd like to see your face. You got to say it with your face, but everybody's welcome up here. So don't go to my community section. Oh, don't forget this one too. Come up on the panel and say, hey, Jen, what about this person? I appreciate it better that way because I'm not listening to you if you throw it in my comments the day of this show, okay? I appreciate you all. This is, an all-inclusive show. I love that you partake. I love that you contribute, but not the day of the show. I'm not going to switch my notes and everything that I research because, you're pulling a wild hair out your ass and throwing somebody else in the mix. Not happening. This is work for me. I know I make it look easy, but this is work for me. I try to give you the best possible content. So I'm not going to let you throw shit on me the day of, though I appreciate you. On the Block with Jen at Gmail, or come up on the panel if you feel like I'm missing something or you want to add something, right? Because I know a lot of you have whataboutisms. It's like a disease at this point. I say, the sky is blue, and you're like, but what about when the sky is gray? What about when the sky is green? If you're one of those people, come up on the panel or throw it in the chat with a super chat, and I will throw it up on the screen, okay, to your satisfaction. And I or my panelists will dissect your suggestion or your add-ons or your whataboutisms, okay? But I want everyone to have a fair shot and a fair turn at talking about the topics, okay? And I'm gonna clip what I just said and post it individually so people can go to it and see how you have to operate here. Because I got specifically today, I got a lot of whataboutisms on this topic, okay? So what is tonight's topic? It's a heavy one. It's layered. It's nuanced. Whatever cute word you want to use, okay? So there's going to be a lot of different moving parts to it. I did a trigger warning in my community section. A lot of you are very, very sensitive about race. I understand it. I also don't give a fuck. If you're too sensitive to be here for this conversation, skip it. We'll see you on tomorrow's stream or on a Freaky Friday. Maybe this isn't for you. That's another thing social media has conditioned us to do. Watch people that we hate or watch opinions we don't like. Turn the channel. I tell you all the time, 50 million YouTube channels. Choose another one. I'm just one of 50 million, okay? So if you're too sensitive for this topic, if you're going to come up here and start convulsing, if you're going to be convulsing in my chat, get the fuck on and we'll see you tomorrow, okay? It's okay. There's a lot of, I have favorite shows on TV. Sometimes I turn it on and I'm like, oh, it's kind of whack today. I don't really like who they're interviewing. Oh, I don't like this episode. I don't call into the company. I don't call into NBC or Netflix and say, how dare you do an episode I don't like. What I do is change the channel and find something else, okay? I'm here to help. I'm here to free you. Don't ever be anywhere you don't want to be. Don't do it to yourself. Don't torture yourself. Free yourself. I'm all about freedom. So free yourself. If you don't want to be here looking at me, if you don't like my panelists, if you don't like our opinions, free yourself. Get the fuck on. Okay. Or we'll see you tomorrow, either way. But tonight, it's a very, very serious topic. It's layered. It's triggering. So you're going to have to stand on your square tonight. Okay. And hold your nuts. All right. Hold your nuts tonight because we're going to say a lot of shit y'all don't like. Okay. All right. Let's get to it. How are you, Patricia? What's up, Code Red? Jabari, what's happening? Haran, I see you. Buenas noches, George Cook. All right, guys. So tonight's topic, and then I'm going to bring up my people. It's a heavy topic tonight, okay? You guys saw my thumbnail. And if you just ran in here and you didn't see my thumbnail, this is the topic for tonight. This is my thumbnail. Black Lives Matter until they date non-Black. Let me brief you real quick. That is Stephon Clark, shot by police. That is Tyre Nichols, beat to death by police. And that is Christian Obumseli, stabbed to death by that woman in the picture with him. His on-again, off-again girlfriend stabbed him to death. Okay? Now, after these gentlemen were murdered, what happens is, and I'm using Black Lives Matter just to cover Black people caring about Black people dying, right? I know Black Lives Matter right now is very controversial. Candace Owens called them out. It turns out they stole a lot of money or kept a lot of money, a lot of donations. They didn't return that money to the victims, the parents of the slain kids that they were collecting money for, or the parents of the slain men that they were collecting money for. Black Lives Matter is a mess. So I'm using it loosely. I'm just using it as a term as when, a Black life is taken unjustly by the police department or somebody white, all hell breaks loose, right? Marching, picket signs, yelling on CNN, yelling at the precinct, yelling at the city, at the governor, the mayor, all hell breaks loose, right? So at that point, when all three of these men were first killed, when it first hit the press, right? Their lives mattered, and they mattered greatly. And everybody raised hell. How dare the police kill another man? right? How dare black police kill a man? How dare that white lady kill that man, right? And then the tweets happen. What tweets, Jen? Turns out all three of these gentlemen did very, very, very anti-black tweets. And I'm just saying what I read. You may hear these. I have them for you. You may hear them and say, that's not anti-black. Who gives a fuck? That was his opinion. Or you may be like, hell nah. That is up to you to decide. I have my own opinions. I'll add those later, right? But you may be yay or nay on these tweets. But all three men, all three had very much anti-black and very colorism saturated tweets. Now, all many years ago, but they were brought up. Now, that's another interesting thing. I'm wondering who is doing this. That's something else I want you to put aside. Okay, I'm giving you the plate. I want you to put on the side of the plate. Who is doing this? Every time a black man is unjustly killed, who is it? Who's the designated person that purposely goes back 5, 10, 15 years to find out what they tweeted, right? Think about that for a minute. Who is doing this? What is the motive and why? I'm sure you guys all have your own ideas. Feel free to share them, okay? But I think it's a little eyebrow raising that a black man gets slain and then we find out what he said on his Twitter page 10 years ago, right? It's a little interesting. It's a little suspect, right? Plot twist, that's usually something that the system, and I'm just going to talk right now, okay? Some people will be like, no, that's not true, but we'll dissect it later, okay? Now, some people may say that white people do that and they do it on purpose to criminalize, right? To criminalize the victim of police brutality, right? Because, we saw it with Trayvon Martin, we saw it with George Floyd, we saw it with Stephon Clark, right? Whenever one of these black men gets killed, they have to pull up his rap sheet, right? To sway judgment. So that way you're like, oh, fuck, well, that person was a criminal anyway. So he must have been resisting arrest. So who cares? It's not really an important person on the planet, right? Now, remember, we used to say all the time that white people used to do that. Like white people used to do that. They'll post a picture with the kid holding the gun instead of the picture of him at school with a tie on, right? We know the game. We know the game. We didn't just get here, right? Fast forward, late 2020s or early 2020s, now Black women have waged war on these men the same way white media has, right? Plot twist. Well, Jen, where did you get that from? There have been several content creators, Black women, who are full force saying, don't march for these men. These men have nothing to do with us. They didn't like us. So basically, who gives a fuck? Long story short, right? We should not care for men that didn't care for us. Is that justified? Did their lives matter up until you found out about one of their tweets, right? Is bashing Black women punishable by death, or at the very least insignificant, right? Now, I'm going to read some of these tweets. These tweets are triggering, right? And I understand why they would be triggering. You guys know how I am. I don't give a fuck what you say about my ethnicity, my complexion, my hair texture, whatever, but I'm not everybody, right? So some of these tweets are triggering to certain people, right? Everybody's not me. Now, I would advise that you be more like me. That way, it could roll off your back when people say stupid shit, but it's your life, it's your trauma, it's your triggers. I don't know you. I can only tell you how I am and why I don't give a fuck what people say about my hair texture, my complexion, or who I am, or my ethnicity, or that Puerto Rican flag behind me, right? But we're not all the same. So I'm going to drop the link and get my people up here and whoever else wants to come up here for this conversation, because I did post I was going to do this topic. And you guys got real spicy in the comments already. So I'm hoping that you bring that sazon up here, because you guys got spicy in the comments already. So hoping that you come up. I dropped the link, just then come up, enter at your own risk. Okay. So I wanted to speak about these three specific men. A couple of people in the comments were like, well, what about George Floyd? He dated a white woman too, right? And then someone else brought up, well, what about Lauren Smith Fields? She dated a white guy, the black woman who was murdered, and her family had to fight the police department to give a fuck and find her and find out what happened to her, right? That was a woman, right? And I told the person who threw that in my comments, if you can find me some tweets where Lauren Smith Fields was talking about black men, not dating black men or not liking black men, or talking about a black complexion or darker skin, then we could throw her in the pot. Right. But right now, I wanted to concentrate on these three men because these are the three men, okay, that black women are saying, fuck them all day. Okay. These are the three whose tweets were discovered. I don't know if George Floyd tweeted 10 years ago that he didn't like dark skin. If you can find that for me, throw it in the chat and I'll throw George in the pot. Right. I know he dated a white woman named Mama or whatever. I don't know what his Twitter account looks like. Same thing with Lauren Smith Fields. If she did the same thing on Twitter, throw her in the pot. But again, I tell you guys, suggest topics at On the Block with Jen at Gmail. The day of the show is not the day to bombard me with your add-ons, okay? All right? All right. But if you have more info for me, please feel free to throw it in the chat. And again, welcome all. Glad to see you here. Okay, guys, let me bring up my people. And Lily's going to be late, but she will be here. My people are always busy. Thank you so much for this super chat, Jabari Bryant. Mucho amore. Jabari says, buy yourself a smoothie and release the hounds. Release the Kraken. Oh, the Kraken's going to be released tonight. We're expecting Dane too. Haran DeMarco, how are you, darling?
What's going on?
What's up? You giving me all them neutrals and all them beiges. I like it. Nice and neutral over there. Okay. Real zen. Real zen. How are you, No Saint? George Cook. How are you, dear?
I'm well, thank you.
Hi, everybody. So we're just missing the lovely Lily, but she said she's late. And I know Dame wanted a piece of this as well. So we'll get him up here eventually. All right, guys. So because I want to, parlay a little bit on the tweets because I would like the rest of the panelists to be here before I read the tweets so we can really get into them. And here's Lily. Hi, Mama.
Hello. I missed you guys.
I love
blouse, Lily.
Thank you for the color because you know me, I'm black and white. Thank you so much.
Lies. I've been wearing all black all day. Okay.
It's a New York thing, though. It's a New York thing. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like I'll go in a store and see like a pretty yellow dress, and I'm like, that's so pretty. You got it in black.
Right. I was in your neck of the woods.
You was in the Bronx?
Yep.
What were you doing in the Bronx?
But that's where Bessie lives at. And we were handling some business and stuff. So yeah.
Oh, what part of the Bronx?
Parkchester.
Oh, okay. 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 Mm-hmm. All right. That's the sweet Bronx. Well, I don't know about now, but I know Parkchester was like
it got rough, and then now they cleaned it up. And we have a joke. Like we said, damn, we need to become landscapers so we can get this contract because they stay landscaping around there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Parkchester for sure. For sure.
Oh my God.
Jabari, come up. Jabari said, I wish I could come up, but gotta run again. Have a great show. Okay. Well, thank you for the super chat, darling. All right, guys. So before I get into these tweets, we got a lot of people in the room right now. So please hit that like and subscribe for me. Welcome again, new subbies. I've gotten a lot the past couple of days. So I'm glad you are trusting me to be your entertainment. You're going to like it here. It's going to hurt sometimes, though. So I'm glad that you're here. So before I even read these tweets, guys, we're talking today about Stephon Clark, Tyre Nichols, and Christian Obumseli. All three men were murdered, one of them by his white girlfriend. All three men tweeted many years ago about dark skin, black women, wanting light children, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm going to read their words verbatim. But before I get to the tweets, I would love to hear what you think. Ladies first. I would like Lily to go first, if you fellas don't mind.
Ooh, y'all put me on the spot.
You want to pass the mic, Lily?
I kind of want to pass the mic because I think I'm about to come out shooting guns. Like, I'm like, I don't know if shots should be fired this early in the game.
Okay.
So I'll pass the mic. Yeah.
So I'll pass the mic to the lube of the panel, Haran.
I don't think you should. I don't think you're gonna call me that tonight.
First give of all, we're here. We're here. Give it to us.
I don't give a damn what them tweets said, man.
Okay.
I don't give a damn what them tweets said. That has absolutely nothing to do with anything.
Okay.
And to be frank with you, if that was a black woman who said some off the wall shit about black men and dated outside of her race, and she was murdered unfairly, black women would have came to her back. They would have supported her. The situation would have been completely different. This is because this is all about the spin and the deep hatred both genders just have for each other. That's just it. At the end of the day, we just have to acknowledge it. Both sides of the fence just vehemently hate each other to the point that they want each other dead. And that is the truth. As a matter of fact, one of the particular woman, Cynthia G, she has doubled down on the idea that if you find out that you're having a black son, terminate the pregnancy. She has said that repeatedly. That is what that's the kind of move they over on over there. That's the kind of move that's the kind of person that Annalisa actually looks up to. A woman who supports the murdering of black men before they even get into the world. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that because I've got way more to say.
Okay, we will pass the mic. No Saint, what say you? That was a lot. I said tonight's gonna be heavy, and I want everybody to get out what they feel. That's what the block is for.
I just, I'm gonna say, I think there's a lot of layers to this subject, but it's the whole. Listen, I grew up in this area in New Orleans. Am I coming out okay? I hear an echo. I just want to make sure.
I hear you fine.
Okay. And this has been going, well, as we all know, this has been going on a long time. We have a segment of society here that back at, when slavery was going on, there was the Creoles or the lighter skinned black people that owned slaves that were like in between the white and the black. And that in between the white people and the black people were like the Creoles, right? And I'm sure to this day, but I know when I was dating one of my first girlfriends who was Creole, they had that colorism going on. Like that hair better be straight. You know what I mean? Like they were gonna marry. I mean, almost like you marry your cousin before you marry a darker skin. So I think when it comes to, I think some of this is from not hanging over. Some of this is from that. Like some of these women, the dark skinned women, feel betrayed, and they lash out. But it's really sad. I mean, it really is sad that they're bringing up all these things. This guy's dead, and they're almost like Haran said on Cynthia G. I was watching the comment section, and I forgot what it was. Something basically being happy. God, good riddance type thing, we no loss and things like that. That was just really vicious. And I don't really understand that viciousness. I don't understand. Maybe I'll understand after tonight, but right now I don't understand how people can be that cold. The person's got a young one. No matter who he dates, he shouldn't be happy. I mean, there just shouldn't be joy when someone. Now, the comments from 10 years ago, listen, nobody would be president if you could see what they said 10, 15, 20 years ago before they were politicians. You know what I mean? Everybody now it's just recorded, and people are digging up things and not giving context to it, and not realizing that maybe that person grew and doesn't believe that anymore. But anyway, I'll pass on that.
Lily, you still waiting? Because I know you got a rebut.
So, all right, a couple of things. First, I'm really stuck on the tweets as well, and this is all the time. This is like every time something like this comes up, not just police shootings, but anybody when they start digging up old tweets. I'm so super curious to figure out how this is going on, who's sitting down doing this, what's the agenda behind it, because it's always very convenient. It's always very convenient. That's number one. So there's something here, and I do believe, I think we all know that there is a push to further divide the genders. Okay, so I feel like there's something behind that to add to the further divide of the male and female genders.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to make this a little personal for a second and share my experience behind things like this. And I've shared it on here before, but I know we got a lot of new subbies, so I'm going to share it again. So when it comes to things like this, I feel like sometimes I'm in a weird position as a Black person who's pro-Black, who loves Black people. And then whenever I go into pro-Black spaces, it's like, oh, wow, I feel like I'm not welcome by particularly most Black men, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let me be also clear that even when I started doing the show, right? Like people in my community was like, oh my God, why are you doing the show? Like, are you the only, TS girl on there, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you know me, I can handle myself. That's number one. Number two, Jen's not going to let me get beat down by a whole bunch of, straight men and shit like that. So a lot of people in my community have this fear and or I wouldn't say go as far as to say hatred, but dislike toward Black men because of the way they've been treated and beat up and tortured their whole life. That's not my story, right? Mm-hmm. I have a very good relationship with Black men. I have, my dad, my brother, my uncles, my cousins, I have and friends or whatever. I have very good relationship. At the same time, when it's like when you're constantly going into pro-Black spaces and hearing those things, it's like, okay, we're supposed to be pro-Black, but not if you're like this, right? So I know what it feels like is why, and the reason why I'm bringing this up, I know what it feels like to have a particular gender of a particular color constantly coming at you, and then something happens, you're like, okay, well, how am I supposed to feel? Like, and at some point, I'm gonna be honest with me, I stopped marching because I felt like my life was in danger. I was like, the same people I'm marching for could possibly attack me and kill me. And it has happened. The last couple of marches that I said I wasn't gonna go to, it has happened. So I know what it feels like. At the same time, I would never, and I don't think it's ever right to celebrate in someone's death, in someone's demise, in someone's downfall, just because you don't like what they said, just because you don't like them. I don't feel like that's ever okay. At the same time, I don't know how to feel sometimes. It's like, wow, especially when it's like, if you put the shoe on the other foot, if it was me, that motherfucker wouldn't give a damn about me. He'll probably like, relish in my demise, but I'm not going to do that just because that's not the energy I want to put out into the universe. So that's where I'm at with it.
So it is, I mean, there is a lot, that's why I said it's layered, because there is a lot of conflict. I'm with you with the marching. My last one was Trayvon, to give you an idea of how many years ago I stopped doing it. It's layered because it's like, am I marching for someone who would march for me? Or, it doesn't matter if they would march for me. This is just how I feel. Also, is pro-Blackness conditional? Right. Like, we're pro-Black unless you're gay, we're pro-black unless you're dating white.
Mentally ill.
Right. Mentally ill. So it's like, is pro-blackness conditional, which is another layer. Before I pass the mic to George Cook, I did want to grab this comment. For the love of Shy says, my thing is all the dark-skinned black women he was talking about needs to mind their business and pay Tyre no mind. He didn't like y'all. He said disgusting things about y'all. And then another one, never celebrate someone's demise, but if that person thinks you're disgusting and you're ugly based off of something like your skin tone, leave the person be. Don't march, don't fight, don't do nothing. I'll pass the mic to George Cook before I get into these tweets. If you're here, please hit like and subscribe.
Okay. Well, hello, everyone. And so good to be here tonight. Thanks again for having me on, Jen. As a white boy, that's these three gentlemen you talked about, I don't watch TV. So maybe in a sense, I might have an advantage tonight in that I'm like I don't know nowhere near as much as you all do. But the thing that comes to mind about the colorism thing, I grew up, like no saying, I grew up here in the South. And that was definitely an issue here, and all that. It's always been in one degree or another, even in white people. Okay. About, funny enough, like they'll justify, like if they won't date black women, or, white man won't date a black woman, but they'll say, but I'll date a Puerto Rican woman like you, or I'll date a Spanish, another Latina, or so on. So that kind of stuff's always there. Part of this, like for me, if you ask me what was my ideal woman, and it's always been this way with me, I always favored darker skinned women, the black hair, the brown eyes, all that. So I tended to favor like Latinas and stuff, and women like that. So I guess where I'm going with this is that, yeah, the short story is the women, there's no protest for these three guys, or not a whole lot said about it. Yeah, that's awfully inconsistent. You say, just because they dated white women, or one of them looked like an Asian girl, maybe Latina.
Yeah, she was Asian. Asian. She is. She's not dead. Asian.
Yeah. And so, that's really terribly inconsistent. I mean, it's hypocritical if I want to get down to it. I think it's just, here's the takeaway I've got for my African-American friends. What I'm seeing is that I don't know who it is, but somebody is in the black community, and I've noticed this for all my life, they find ways to fracture you guys into different camps and different groups where y'all have this inner Nicene warfare going on all the time. At least that's the way it appears for me outside looking in. And so it's like, it kind of gets back to, if I was on that side of the fence, I would be looking at, hey, look, we need to worry about keep the main thing. And what color skin, what shade of brown or black a person is that they dated is really beside the point. Okay. And then it gets into like the other night when I told y'all I had African-American descent, 0.8%. And I asked a rhetorical question, am I black? And y'all roundly said no. And oh, by the way, Jen, I'm like 1.6% Latino. So Portugal and Spain, no less. Okay. So anyway.
Goya.
And I know, like here in Florida, even I kind of like thought that like racism and all that stuff only existed like with white people. And then I go down to Miami, and I'm at a Honda dealership, a motorcycle dealership, and I wind up talking to the owner. And the conversation rolled around who you will not hire. And he flat out told me, this is what he said. He said, I will not hire black people, but he didn't say black people. And he said, I will not hire Puerto Ricans. and then someone told me, said, yeah, even some hold up your sign, some, not all, some Cubans they kind of look at themselves as like the top of the food chain in Latin America, and then everybody's below that. I had worked around a woman who's she was from New Mexico, and I said, "Are you Mexican?" And she quickly corrected me and told me she is not Mexican. She is such and such generation Castilian Spanish.
Oh, a Spaniard. Yeah.
And so I just see it. This is like so terrible. I just see it as if there's a government psyop going on to the Black community to keep you guys divided, it seems to be working pretty damn good. I mean, the things that you guys, I feel for you. It's like, I'll just leave it there because I'm sure I'll think of stuff later.
Okay, so to address the Latin thing, it's funny because the whiter or the more adjacent Latins get to whiteness, those are the ones that think they're better. I mean, that's why I say it's the same across the board for Asians, for Black people, for Latin people, for Indian people, right? So the Spaniards think they're at the top of the food chain, and then come the Cubans, and then come the light Puerto Ricans, right? And then come the dark Puerto Ricans, then come the Dominicans, and then, it goes on and on and on like that. But Spaniards definitely feel like, well, we're, first of all, we're Spanish. We're really Spanish. You're speaking our language, right? Because Spanish isn't our original language. We're Taínos. We're African. Spanish wasn't our language.
Taínos were Indians, or they were native, what we would call Native Americans. Taínos were the indigenous population to Puerto Rico. Okay.
Yes. And we didn't speak Spanish, right? That happened during the slave trade and all that, the conquistadores and all that crap, right? So Spanish people are here, and then come the Cubans. Ooh, the Cubans. Cubans are very interesting folk, right? And, put this in your ass wherever it's comfy. But, in my experience, especially in Miami, it's very Republican, as you know. So, there's the hierarchy and everybody, So I just say that to say it's just prevalent in all the races and ethnicities, right? The closer you are to whiteness, the better you think you are, right? So I want to, for the gentlemen that were on the side of I don't give a fuck what them tweets said, I'm going to read some. Can we go there now? Yep. And then we'll move on from there.
I have one question.
Yes, ma'am.
Before you read the tweet, Ron,
yes.
The point that you made, if it happened to a woman, a lot of women would come and rally, right? Mm-hmm. And I totally agree. Do you feel like as many men will come and rally for that woman as well? Like let's just take for instance, right?
No.
Yeah. Yeah, because look at the prison system, right? On visiting day, mm-hmm. A male's prison system, a male prison versus a women's prison looks completely different support wise on visiting day. It's a real imbalance.
Here's the thing. Before you even get into the tweets, this is one of the reasons why I said I don't give a shit about what those tweets says, because this is one of the reasons why a lot of people are very bad at math. A lot of people really could have been lawyers. And it's not based on if you know how to argue or not. No, it's based on the fact that if you actually understand the importance of critical thinking, and you can actually look at something with the lens with solid Boolean logic, meaning off, on, binary, so on and so forth. If you have those capabilities, most people do not. They lean on their biases. Now, for instance, an example, if you brought them damn tweets into the courtroom, the judge, everyone would have just been like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? Get that out of here. There's absolutely nothing to do with anything. One deserves to die because they said something 15 years ago. I bet you one thing, if there was a law put in place that says that everyone can only get a certain kind of job or have a certain cap of salary based on what they said and what we dig up 15 years ago, we damn near all be out of work. Okay, so let's not go down those weeds. I will also say That. This is very funny. I'll tell you one thing. If he said that same crazy shit, whatever the fuck that's in those tweets, if he said that same thing about light-skinned black women,
Oh, another layer.
or Latino women,
Another layer.
I was
Another
gonna go-
layer.
anybody,
I was gonna go there.
anybody close to the preference, would this be a topic of conversation? If he chose mostly dark-skinned black women or black women, period, would it be a topic of conversation? Would you went out there and march for him? Would he been the hometown hero then? You know what I mean? Now look, listen. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Here's the irony of colorism. Here's the irony of colorism, and I'm saying this to all black women tonight. The irony of colorism is that the effect of colorism is a social construct. The effects of that social construct created by deifying whites and white privilege and so on and so forth. But here's the kicker behind that. You always seem to feel as if the best course of action away from that is for you to go and marry a white man. And he created your problems, but you think he's your solution.
Ooh.
That's the irony of all this. That's the sick joke involved in it. But again, I'm done right now because I got more shit to say.
Okay, well, that's it.
I got more shit to say tonight.
Hold on to it. It's still early.
I've not even cracked the surface, so I'm just chill for a minute.
Okay, it's still early. I want to acknowledge. Jabari Bryant says, ironically, there's a hierarchy among whites as well, but it's not about complexion, right? In the hood, in the South Bronx, you could be dirt fucking poor on food stamps. And if your Puerto Rican cousin has blonde hair and blue eyes, she still thinks she's better than your dark Puerto Rican cousin with the kinky hair and the brown skin. See, with white people, it's money. With Latins, it's whoever's lighter. That's what happens. I've seen it up close and personal. I have a huge array of family members that go all the way from blonde, blue-eyed, all the way to brown skin, dark skin. So that's the thing. Even when you're broke, if you're lighter, you feel better, and you'll act like it. You will certainly.
With East Indians are horrible for colorism. I think they rival blacks. Colorism. Like, no, they're probably a little worse because theirs literally determines how you're going to live in life, period. Like how far you're going to rise up the ranks, period. When it comes to their colorism.
I was going to mention this, and then I moved on from it. But yeah, in India, they to Lily's point, women over there will actually get like creams or some makeup or something to actually lighten their skin.
Oh,
they do that here. Yeah, they do that. Yeah. It's actually very popular here.
Yeah, the black people do it
now.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you're right. Combined with their caste system that they have over there, yeah, it's pretty devastating. And you're generally right. I work around a lot of Indians, so that's
me
that's
too.
Why
My main client is Indian. I have a lot of Indian friends. So I feel like I've got, like, they call me an honorary Indian. They're like, damn, you're surrounded by a lot of Indians.
I can see that.
So just to put it in context,
really quick before you get in there, No Saint, I want to acknowledge the super chat. Thank you for the super chat, Michael Richardson. Michael Richardson says, Jen, I noticed what you are talking about. When I was stationed in Puerto Rico, Isla Verde was darker Puerto Ricans, and Humacao and Fajardo had lighter people. Ceiba by the beach had a mix of both. You're right. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Vieques is all dark skin, and yeah, it's absolutely. Also, I wanted, before you jump in there, No Saint, I wanted to speak to what Haran said about the tweets don't matter, and sometimes they're not admissible in court. However, there is such a thing as a character witness, and we all know what a character witness does. So although, you can fight, the attorney could fight, this isn't admissible, they still like hearing about people know how that person was. Okay, No Saint, go ahead.
So I just want to put a little bit of context when it comes to that part of the world, the Asian, Southeast Asia. When people say that there's white supremacy even in those lands. But in context, a lot of the deities have light skin. So I don't think it's coming from us. Like, in other words, I don't think it's white supremacy from the United States, and that's why they're becoming lighter. If you look in like India, a lot of their gods have the white makeup, or in Asia have the white makeup. So they're saying in their religious beliefs that white is good. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily the same thing as we have over here when it comes to their lighting their skin and things like that.
It's not the same, but it's the same.
Well,
like, it's not the same, but it's the same.
It's not coming from European. It's not coming from European
Right.
domination or something like that. You know, in that. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Alrighty. So let's get into these tweets. I see more people in the room. Please hit that like and subscribe for me, darlings. Keep me spinning, por favor. You know, so when I went on my little quest to find these tweets, I was like, they're probably not that bad. And then I started finding them. So this is Christian Obumseli. He was the one that was stabbed to death by his white girlfriend. These are just a couple. I can't read them all, of course. We don't have time. One of them reads, can't believe OOMF thinks I talk to black girls when I don't. I would never. And Damien's right on time. Hello, sir.
What's up, y'all?
What's up? I'm just reading the tweets. Watch your mics, guys, because I hear if you're not talking. Christian Obumseli, once again, I'm tired of these black girls in my government class. Football can be the time venue for breast cancer, military DV awareness, but bring up Black Lives Matter, and it's not the time. Laughing out loud. White titties are better than black titties. Just saying. Ha ha ha. The way black girls always disgrace themselves on TV. Laughing out loud. Black girls are born knowing how to shake their ass. Me, honestly, I don't care. They're not my type anyway. So that was Christian Obumseli. And like I said, there are a lot. I'm just reading a couple. This here is Stephon Clark, killed by police officers in the dark, running from them. He is talking about his son. He's saying, I'm just saying, Aiden's not even 2 weeks yet, and he's darker than me. I'm crying. This is his Asian baby mother, because they were both tweeting colorism tweets. So she was saying, and he retweeted. So she was saying, I'm saying Aiden's not even 2 weeks yet, and he's darker than me. I'm crying. Why does my baby daddy have to be so dark chocolate? Laughing out loud. She goes on to say, I'm praying the same thing. I just hope my baby doesn't get as dark as his dad. And this is all in public. It's so interesting. This is her again. This nigga said, I don't want a black baby. I'm already black. I don't need no black babies. I don't want anything.
That's the dude who in Miami that got stabbed by his girlfriend?
No, this is Stephon Clark, the one that was killed by the cops.
Okay, sorry.
He says, I don't want nothing black but an Xbox bitches. Dark bitches bring dark days. So that's Stephon Clark. Tyre, where are you? So the interesting about Tyre was I did watch some of Cynthia G's stream about him. It was short, like 20 minutes or so. And his tweets were also interesting. I'll pull them up. Okay, so this is Tyre Nichols, the one that was just beat to death by the 5 police officers. I have never wondered this in my life, laughing my ass off. Do dark-skinned girls have good pussy or nah? True this. There's a reason I don't talk to dark-skinned bitches. I need a white girl with blue eyes. Whales, laughing my ass off. You gotta be bisexual white girlfriend. You gotta watch out, guys, girls, dogs, whales, whatever you got, but not black. She's not white. she's a nigga, laughing out loud. I guess he was talking about somebody else. Why do they always fly during a fight? Black girls and their wigs. There's a reason I don't talk to dark skinned bitches. You know, white girl, blue eyes, same shit. I just saw a black girl fighting. Ha 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 ha. That's some crazy shit. A black girl. So that's just those are some of the tweets, and people were, you know, I saw the comments. I saw Cynthia G said, and not just Cynthia G. It's way bigger than Cynthia G. She's just probably the most followed and popular, but there's a lot of content creators now talking about this. The comments are all the same in the comments. I don't even think men would dare jump into those comments. You know, and they were making fun of the way he died, getting beat to death by 5 cops who were black as well. They were saying things like celebrating, or they do this joke where it's like, oh, what are you having for dinner? Right, where I'm having such and such. That's like a running joke that they do. So, you know, the comments are pretty vicious. The content is pretty vicious. I'm not a black woman, so I can't say whether they're right or wrong. I'm not a black woman who's been attacked for my complexion since birth, so I can't say whether they're right or wrong. I just wanted to discuss it and dissect it. Like I said, I'm cut from a different cloth. You could call Puerto Rican women whatever the fuck you want. It has nothing to do with me. But that's different, right? I don't live in that experience. I'm not going to pretend like I know what it's like to live in that experience. With that said, I've had my own oppression. I've had my own racial incidents. I've been discriminated against because I'm Puerto Rican. I've had medical emergencies because I am not white. I'm Latina, and I didn't get the same amount of help. And I've lost people because of, you know what I mean, our complexions and things like that. So I've been through hell and back, and that's a show for another day. But still, my experience is not that of a dark-skinned black woman in this country. So, you know, you can't really tell people how to feel. I'm just telling you, I wouldn't feel a fucking thing because I'm not going to let people outside of my world affect me that way. But that's me, right? So, you know, the girls are fighting back with these comments, the vitriol, you know, making fun of these deaths, telling, you know, saying, let white women march for them, let white women cry. Their black mamas are always coming out and caping for them. The white baby mamas and the girlfriends, where are they? So that's what's been going on, and not just on Cynthia G's channel, but a lot of other channels. It's like a wave that's happening. So that's what I wanted to dissect. Do these women, is it fair? Is it justified after the treatment that they've got for so long, listening? Because I know both sides are like, black men are like, yeah, now we have a platform to talk about women. I believe they've always talked about women negatively, but you know, they don't let me live with that. They're like, no, we just started talking about women and holding them accountable. I'm like, okay, whatever you say. So do you just think like, who's finally fighting back, right? Is it the black women finally fighting back? Like, fuck y'all been treating us like shit. Now we're going to fight back and tell you, fuck you if you get killed. Or is it black men fighting back? Like, how dare you not care for us just because we were with a white woman? Or are these tweets enough for black women to say, why the fuck would I care about you when you spoke to us about that? Or is this just locker room talk in public? Is this just locker room talk in public?
Well, this goes back to the old saying that, like, you have to be careful what you say online, because you never know when it's going to be pulled and how it's going to be used and things like that. Because, yeah, he could have been trolling. Let's just go with that. Let's go with that for 2 seconds and say he was just trolling to get attention and get his followers up. All right. And let's just say he didn't believe any of those things. Mm-hmm. At the same time, you know, he also didn't know that he was going to die a violent death, and these things will be pulled up and used against him. So that's one thing. The other thing is, when it comes to the whole colorism thing, which is crazy that we're like still going, like, you know, discussing things like this in 2023. But okay. You know, when it comes to that, if the tweets were about light-skinned women, no, it wouldn't have been as much backlash. And it's because you know, darker skinned women live with a lot of trauma. And like you said, Jen, that's not your experience. That's not my experience. But at one point I managed before I started modeling myself, I was managing, and I managed a beautiful dark skinned model who was very accomplished, may I add. but I got to peek into her world a little bit through managing her, and the shit that I heard some of those casting directors say, like with my own ears, just the whole experience. Oh, and mind you, now I managed a white model, a darker skin model, and a lighter skin model, and I got to see firsthand what, secondhand, what that looked like in her world. And so I was like, wow, like I've heard about this a lot, my whole life, but to see it, it's like, wow. And she's like, this has been my life for X amount of years that I've been alive. So that has to, unless you have healed those traumas, we all have them, right? So, but once you heal them, those things do roll off your back. Like there's absolutely positively nothing anyone can say about me, unless I truly love you, that's going to hurt me, right? But that's because I had to heal those traumas. So I can imagine a lot of darker skinned Black women walking around with unhealed trauma and then have to be further subjected to things like this. Doesn't make it right. Let me be really clear, to celebrate this man's death or anyone's death. But I can understand, but I can understand why they're like, let the white woman fight for me. I'm out of this. I'm sick of being attacked for no reason. I was just trying to cook my dinner,
So before I pass the mic to Damien, I understand everything that you said, Lily, and I totally get it. Hurt people, right? For lack of a more, fancier term, hurt people. But even in their pain, because I understand someone going through trauma, and I was like, you hate yourself and you hate the world and everybody's going to get this shit. I don't give a fuck who it is. But what I see are patterns of bullying more than everybody's going to get it. I've always said I respect somebody who got smoked for everybody.
Right.
For everybody. This is how I am. I don't give a, but I notice with wherever it fits, with certain women, it's hypocritical because like you said, had these women been light skinned, or like Haran said, had these women been light skinned, or had they been white, and these three men were saying these things, they would have been celebrating it, right? So I think that there's a bit of hypocrisy there, even with Stephon Clark's baby mother. She's not even white. She's Asian. She's Filipino and some other things. She's very much a woman of color. She's darker than me, right? But even with that, you know what I mean? They were still attacking him and her. Like, do you think, and anybody in the panel, if I pass it to Damien, I want to pass it to Damien, but do you think that there's some hypocrisy? I understand you're hurt, so you want to hurt other people, but I notice even in that, you pick and choose. Right?
Oh,
you
yeah,
pick and choose.
I think people are full of shit now. I fully think people are full of shit. But go on.
Damien, what say you? Can't hear you.
Selective outrage is real. Selective outrage. People get real selective on what they want to be outraged. But the funny thing about this, like when you put it up there, I went online and saw it, and I was appalled by the shit that I saw my man Tyre Nichols say. I was appalled. But then I looked at the date. I was like, but he was 16 when he said it.
Well, I don't know. They said that he was 21.
Oh, well, if he died at 29 and that tweet was, and if you listen, the tweet was 2010, he was correct. He was a kid. So I mean, it's just like, it's hard to I'm like, is this a kid on some dumb shit? Or is this just, or does he still I don't know. It's like, I want to know that part of it. I'm like, because we've all done and said dumb shit that if we had Twitter back in, we probably would be in the positions that we are now, because I know I wouldn't if it would have been recorded for posterity and somebody pulled it up or what have you. But I mean, there is a significant amount of self-hate in the Black community. That's just what it is. It was like, for all this Black pride that we try to spout, and a lot of them, there's a lot of internalized self-hate.
Somebody came after me for saying that. I was like, the Black girl magic, the Black power, it looks great on a t-shirt, but you have to believe it. right?
Yeah.
And some people, oh, you've done your homework, George. So some people, you know what I mean? They say it because it sounds good, like God bless you after somebody sneezes, but they don't believe it. I'm like, you don't behave like you believe it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where it's just like, you know, and it gets kind of it's such a nuanced kind of thing. It was like because he was from Sac, even though he was living in Memphis, he was from Sac. Where he was living in Sac is predominantly white, so there he probably got shit piled on him every day to where he was hating dark skin. I'm willing to bet he wish he was either light skinned or white, you know, for the
Where
most
was he
part.
at?
He was in Sac, I think he was in
Auburn
Sacramento.
Hills?
Sacramento.
No, El Dorado.
Toronto Hills, yeah. No, that's where the wealthy people live in Sac.
Yeah.
But he was probably in probably in Auburn Hills or Arden Fair. But it was just like, yeah. So it's just one of those situations where he was a skateboarder. So you know probably the majority of his friends were like white cats who, you know, you know, well, he had to kind of like internalize the bullshit that he said, the jokes here, and he had to like kiki and haha when they made a joke or whatever like that. So there's probably some trauma, internalized trauma that developed that he had that turned into self-hate to where, you know, just black was just like a repulsive to him or what have you, especially black women, you know, and he focused it on black women, which I said, like I said, it was disgusting and stuff that I was hearing and that stuff he was saying. I was like, you can feel free to have a preference, but you don't have to denigrate anybody to because you have that preference. You don't have to justify it with denigration and abuse because you have a specific. If he just would have said, hey, you know, if you said nothing, you know, or whatever, or he would have just said, hey, I like blondes. You know, he would have got a little bit of shit, but what he did was different. But like I said, he was a kid. You know.
So I'll say this: there is something that Cynthia G said that I agree with, that I found disturbing. She said basically his social media was a shrine to white people. So I got curious. I was like, what is she talking about? So I did go to his Instagram, went to his Twitter, went to his Facebook, and it very much did look like a shrine to white people. Like it really, really did. Like he posted white men, white women. It was all white, 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 very blonde, very blue-eyed. I mean, I'm talking about picture after picture after picture. White women, white men. I found that interesting. Also, you know the picture of him. Hold on. Also, the picture of him holding up his very light child and being happy that his child was light. Someone who behaves that way is obviously tormented by their own complexion. Before he even starts projecting to women, someone who you know has a whole shrine to white people and is very dark skinned. Obviously, there's lots of trauma there, and he doesn't like his complexion, right? So he gravitates to whatever white is. Should we give him grace? Because obviously he's hurting. Or no?
You could acknowledge it, but at the end of the day, you say to that person, life is unfair, homie. Buck up.
You can't always say that.
You know what's funny too?
You gotta have a heart.
You know what I mean? Wait, well, look, listen. Tonight I'm bringing the raw tonight. I don't give a fuck tonight.
Listen, everybody is entitled to their opinion. Say it with your chest.
Those tweets that you just said, yes, those are bad. But they're pretty mild to some of the shit I've seen black women say to black men on Twitter. I've seen black women call black men bullet bags. Yeah. I've seen them.
Ouch.
I've seen black women and gay black men said the cops ain't killing y'all fast enough.
Ouch. Twitter is I will not get on Twitter.
Twitter is
it's the project. It's the project.
You've seen it. You've seen it on this panel.
Yes.
It's the projects of social media.
Oh, and Alicia? I've never heard that woman say they're not killing y'all fast enough.
No, not like that. Not that.
And I saw a black woman just flat out say kill all black men. She just cut to the chase. And look, listen. I get it. you know, because a lot of this stems from the fact that darker complected people, period, go through a number of things around the world, you know. And Cynthia G, she's funny. I'm not going to say where I found it, but I happened to bump into her, some social media that she had, and she had like a section where she had like guys and stuff. I guess guys she admired, and there wasn't one black man in there.
Oh,
there was nothing but Asian and white men.
Oh, that's tea.
And she also bleached her skin. So it's real funny how she's able to really spot. And I stand on all this shit.
Well, so yeah, I know her complexion definitely is not the complexion that she started with.
I'll pull up the proof and all that shit. You know what I mean? I stand on all this shit.
Cynthia's as light as me right now, which is crazy. Yeah.
It's really funny about the fact that she's able to spot shrines to whiteness, because it's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure you know what that looks like. You know what I mean? But another thing too, look, at the end of the day, look, when it comes to dark-skinned people, period, let's just call it what it is. It all boils down to opportunities, access, and in some degree, very much so, companionship, and even how they've been treated in families. Yeah, the darker skinned daughter does not get as much love a lot of times as the light skinned daughter, or the darker skinned son a lot of times might not be favored as much as the fairer skinned son. The darker skinned son might be seen more so as a criminal.
We saw that, Lily, I don't know if you remember, you probably the only one I watched this reality show, Basketball Wives, Jackie Christie. She had a dark-skinned daughter and a light-skinned. Yeah, she treated,
but
in
it's
public.
A lot of celebrities that do that, especially with the celebrity world, we see that. When they, their starter wife, they'll have...
Oh, like Steve Harvey. Let's just put it out there.
He's one of them. But there's many of them that have children with their starter wife, 50 Cent, a lot of them. We can go down the line. And then they treat their starter wife children that are darker completely different from the mixed and racially ambiguous children. We've seen it a million times.
But I would say this, like I said before, cold world, man. I got nothing to tell you, because at the end of the day, look, listen, cold motherfucking world, because at the end of the day, shit, there's a ton of things I can't get into. There's a ton of places I have no access to. I got to concentrate on the things that I have access to. Look, listen, it is what it is. Look, at the end of the day, darker skinned women, especially in the dating world, they don't have that many options unless they're incredibly gorgeous. I'll just say it. Fuck it. I'll just fucking say it. They don't have that many options, because, you know what I mean, if they're average looking, unless they're on Iman level, top tier.
Hold on.
We are going viral.
Wait a minute. Unless they're top tier, a lot of times, even the stats even say this shit. You know what I mean? Black women on these dating apps, black women and Asian men are the least favored.
True.
Don't come at me.
That's
don't
true.
Come at me.
No. That is true. That's true. But the reason why heard that study. The reason why is black women more than any other race want exclusively black men. Other races are willing to open up their dating profile. Other races, black women are the most race loyal in society. So the vast majority, I'm not going to quote them out, but I know the percentage, but I know it's high, that they are not open to it. From what you look at the white guys who are married, the famous white guys who are married to black women, most of them are dark-skinned women.
And most of them aren't ugly.
Oh, Serena Williams.
Serena Williams.
Well, that's what we heard tonight.
Wait a minute.
He said Serena Williams. Lord almighty.
Venus women, the Williams sisters.
They wait
1 minute. In my opinion, I thought Serena used to be attractive. She did a whole bunch of things to herself. She doesn't look right now. You know what I mean? I thought she was attractive. But guess what?
Did you think she was attractive from the neck up?
Yes.
Serena?
Really? Serena?
Yes, I thought Serena was pretty.
Yes,
now
I did.
Yeah, but now
that's interesting.
Which one has like the more? Venus is the one that's got the more tapered face or whatever.
Yeah,
More.
yeah. Venus is. Mm-hmm.
No, I'm talking about Serena.
Serena looked like her daddy. That's
Now
her
look,
daddy's
see,
face.
Am
now look,
I am
see.
not mixing
Now
them
look,
two up. Serena was she was the one that won more, right? She had more.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought she was way prettier than
Serena
Venus.
is the best in the world,
I
best
would
to ever
say
done it.
in
okay,
person,
now look over here. Look over
in
here
person
one
they look
second.
totally different.
Look over here 1 second. House of Matrix basically says everybody wants Lori Harvey and Megan Good. Now listen, look, I'm gonna just again tonight. I'm gonna just keep it real. Lori Harvey, she's alright. What puts her over the top is that she's light skinned. She's light skinned. No, Megan Good is gorgeous. Megan Good is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Lori Harvey, like, come on.
Lori Harvey would not be considered light skinned in the black community. She could be considered like caramel because she was gonna. Am I considered? Okay. She's darker than me.
Okay, well, she's
I don't consider her light skinned.
She's not Serena Williams dark. We'll call it that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, now is she red bone? No, absolutely not. But yes, there is bias, you know what I mean, in the community. Now look, listen, I've dated black women. They were fine as hell. I've dated red bone women. It was fine as hell. I don't discriminate. I'm not everybody though. But I can sit here and I can see where the bias is, and I've seen the bias, you know what I mean, multiple times in my life. And I've said, like, wow, yeah, that's fucked up. But again, cold world, man.
Well,
like,
but you know, the irony is something we mentioned earlier, this past weekend, right? Mm-hmm. We were talking about the lighter skin / mixed race blacks tend to be the pro black power, black, but then the dark skin ones tend to be the anti-black ones. Like, what's the tea?
But you know what though? I think honestly, the darker skin ones. See, here's the thing. Okay, all right.
Hold on, really quickly. I have double the people watching than I have likes. So all you people lurking that just came in, welcome. How are you? Please hit that like for me. Thank you kindly.
A light-skinned person doesn't necessarily have to deal with what a darker skinned person has to deal with, even though they can fight for certain ideals, certain rights, and so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, they have the choice of whether or not to just drop the bag on that and go about their business. That dark-skinned person has to deal with whatever is being thrown at them for the rest of their life. They have no choice. They have no choice to just get up and leave. They'll wherever they go, they'll be taking their skin and the ideas and the prejudices that come along with that. Like, for instance, you know, I've been in places where, straight up, I'm not a dark-skinned guy per se. I'm more so a brown-skinned guy. But I've been in places where I'm a particular size, and I could be next to another dude that's also probably the same size, but he's light-skinned. I already noticed that those people treat that person a little bit more differently than me. I'm the intimidating one. Why am I the intimidating one? Because I'm darker and bald.
But realistically,
yes.
But realistically, in the sexual marketplace, you are more favored over the light-skinned dudes now.
That is the funny thing, though. But not in the marriage place. Not in the marriage space.
They want to fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. No, dang, trust me. I know the politics of the shit. My inbox stay flooded with, you know what I mean, all this, you know what I mean, all kinds of treats or whatever. But when it comes down to like a long-term situation,
yeah.
So you're saying, Haran. So you're saying, when you're saying, you said dark-skinned women and Asian men are the least swiped on dating apps?
Well, they said black women and Asian men are the least white.
They get on most dating sites, Match.com, OkCupid, all those. They get the least amount of matches and the least amount of messages because they count the messages you get.
Asian men and dark skin.
Yeah,
that's fucking interesting.
But remember,
they should get with each other.
No.
this is one of the reasons why a lot of them, you know, what I mean, have an affinity for Asian men.
Well, they got the coin, honey. So hey, just saying.
Look, listen, man, get in where you fit in, man. Don't sit here and look. Right. Here's the thing. Don't give your life to trauma. There's nothing at the end of that tunnel, man.
So let me ask you that. Let me ask this. Let me ask this. Okay. do you think that here come Reese? Reese, you're gonna relax till I get this question out, okay? Welcome, brother. Do you think that, okay, you're saying they get the least, I don't know about the Asian men, but Black women, do you think that Black women, I've thought this in the past, do you think that Black women are loyal to Black men to a fault?
That's what I said earlier. When they put down the vast majority of them put down that they want Black men not open to date outside of their race. They're the least open to date outside of race than any other demographic.
Yes and no. And this is based on my
I'm sorry, hold up. Code Red needs to be checked right now. Code Red, that he put in the nobody wants a man. Dude, you gotta watch yourself, motherfucker, because you don't get yourself fucked up in this motherfucker. Real talk. So chill, man.
We're fucking people up in my chat. Let the chat live. What were you saying? I want you to finish.
We'll be cool, but watch yourself, man. We cool, but don't come with the funny ha shit. You gotta watch yourself, because this is not the topic for the bullshit. I'm sorry. Go ahead. My bad.
Head on.
Y'all just don't know how to behave your goddamn self. Got some goddamn children. Anyway,
I said tonight. Tonight I told you tonight was gonna be a certain way.
The point I want to quickly make here is that in my observation and in my world, yes, I can attest that to what Damien says to a degree. The finer the Black woman was, the more she dated out. Like if she was like a 7 or 8 or 9, and
wait a minute, you're saying that unattractive Black women are more loyal to a fault?
I'm saying that the more beautiful Black women
that's what he's saying
that I've met,
and that's what he's saying.
Dated out.
Hold on.
In my world.
Hold on. But what happens is they give brothers a chance and we fuck it up. And then they get appreciated by a white guy and then they go that route. Tina Turner, Halle Berry, Tina Turner.
I think that's more likely. I think that's more likely the case.
Halle Berry, you say Halle Berry? Oh yeah, wow. That's you can just give me my argument.
And that's what I'm saying. That we fuck it up, and then Black men first that fucked them over, and then now they well, no, Halle Berry with a Black dude now. But.
I think I'm gonna push back a tiny teeny bit. And I wish, you know what I mean, more Black women to come up. If you are popping off in the chat, I'll drop the link. If you are lurking and balled your fist up after you heard one of these men say something, by all means, come on up. But we need to see your face. I know women are vain and they don't want to come up if they don't look a certain way, but we need your face if you want to come up. I'm gonna push back a little bit because I think even attractive Black women, I think that even attractive Black women are loyal to Black men to a fault. Even attractive, I don't think it's just the ug mugs that are loyal. I just think that this whole, the revolution of Black love and Black, babies and Black. I think even attractive Black women are loyal to a fault.
So to a brother, fuck them up. They'll get.
I was
seriously.
I was watching Kevin Samuel's podcast like a year or so ago.
Ooh, you get around amongst the coloreds, don't you, George?
Hey, everybody.
You don't work for the FBI, do you, George?
That's no sin.
These two white men stay very informed before.
Very. Let's hear it. What you heard on Kevin Samuels?
Well, it kind of going on with what Haran said about the finer they are, the more options they've got.
Yeah, everybody.
There was a woman on there that was like, she was like a little bit darker than you. She's between Haran and you, Jen, and she was very, very beautiful. And she's on there freely talk. She's, you know how his show went. But anyhow, she was saying, I date all kinds of men. She mainly dated professional athletes, but she said, like, I've dated white men, I've dated Black men, blah, blah, blah. And then she went on from there. I thought about Halle Berry, of course, we just talked about her. With let's see, Lisa Bonet. Y'all probably might remember her. She's very pretty.
Of course.
Oh yeah.
And then And then there's now going to that now kind of, I know this is just a n equals one thing. In other words, one person, Candace Owens is a very dark skinned black lady, but she's married to a white guy from England. Okay. He's in Parliament over in England. So, I mean, so there is that, but you know, that's just one. And of course, y'all talking about Tina Turner. What?
RuPaul.
I couldn't help it. I'm sorry.
He said,
RuPaul.
RuPaul.
Oh my God.
I couldn't
He
help
said
it.
he said he missed it. He missed it. You got to repeat it.
Oh my goodness.
RuPaul. Okay. Yeah, you got me on that. Yes. But yeah, what I was going to go to real quick, Jen, and before let us move on. But earlier we were talking about the guys who had a lot of this self-hate. Anecdotal story, but a guy I know, Puerto Rican dude, family moved from the island to here, and he moves to Pennsylvania, right? I said, well, why didn't y'all go to New York? Because I thought, you know, that's all the Puerto Ricans, if they come here, they either come to Florida or they go to New York, right? And he said, because we don't want to be around the Puerto Ricans. And I was like, whoa. So what I'm getting to is that I wonder in some of these households, they're influenced by their parents who are telling them, hey, look around here. Look at all these people. You know, this person's a gangbanger and so on and so forth. You need to, you know, if you can, get over with the white people, get over with whoever, and go from there. And that's kind of like inculcated into their mind. Then they take it from there, and what they see on TV and all that, then all that's compounded. And therefore, then that's what you see in these tweets. But by the way, the tweets themselves, that's no reason for people to make fun of them, even though some of the comments were very tasteless, but you know, still, but that's, in other words, kind of like how they were raised, right? They may have had a big influence on that.
Yeah, I mean, well, how they were raised and also environment, witnessing people act the monkey ass fool, right? My dad, I spoke about it before. He had 3 10-unit apartment buildings in New York City, and there was some Puerto Ricans where he was like, "You on Section 8? Nope. You on a government program? Nope." Because he already knew people coming in, and this wasn't race or gender specific, but my dad knew that moving in a certain element was going to fuck up the place. And he would hate to have to come back and clean off graffiti or fix the broken window and I understood. I'm like, you have to, you know what I mean? You have to keep your property on point. So I didn't look at him sideways. I'm like, he has to keep his property on point. So, you know, and that can be Puerto Rican, that could be black, that could be
white,
Indian, that could be white. He wasn't having it. So I get it. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
You know, when you as a black person, as a black man, when you reach a certain tax bracket, hopefully you start understanding some of the things that white people said when you weren't in that tax bracket and you thought they were being racist. Because I told y'all one time before, for a quick second, I was a middle-aged white man when I came home one night a couple of years ago, you know what I mean, to my building. And you know what I mean, and you know, it was late. It was, you know, I was exhausted. I'm walking home. There's nothing but, you know what I mean, brothers outside, you know what I mean, standing out in front of the building. And suddenly this voice just jumped in and said, "What are these niggas doing outside my goddamn apartment? Don't they have jobs?" I said, "Oh shit." You know what I mean? And for that quick moment, I said to myself, "Look, no, that's not the right thing to say. That's a horrible fucking thing to say, even in my head." But in that moment, I realized that, wait a minute, I make a certain amount of money and I just want to come home to a particular environment. I want to come home to a particular peace and quiet. I want to come home to a particular thing. So I started really analyzing both sides of the fence. And what's really not fucked up, but what's really conflicting about when you come from just poverty, when you come from the mud, and you reach an area in your life where you're in a really good position, a lot of the ideas that you had before, you start challenging them. And you have to let them go because, you know, they can't live in that same space that you're in now because you're not broke. You know what I mean? You're not broke anymore. Like, you know what I mean? I can talk tough and so on and so forth and shit like that. 9 times out of 10, I ain't doing shit. Most I'll do is throw somebody into a fucking parked car or just walk off. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not gonna be sitting in there fucking scrapping with somebody just knuckle down. You know what I mean? For like 30 fucking minutes. Man, I got shit to do, man. You know what I mean? But it's because I'm in a different space now. I can buy nice shit. You know what I mean? I want to go home to my nice shit. You know what I mean? So again, this goes back to opportunity and access. When you look a particular way and you come from a particular world, if you hold on to the trauma that's attached to that, you won't be able to really move forward and grow, man. You won't be able to move forward and grow because you'll always see yourself as that person that got fucking ridiculed in 5th grade because they were dark skinned.
Amen, amen. African goddess, Puerto Rican is an ethnicity. You can be any race and be Puerto Rican. That is true. However, it's still also a cultural identity, right? That's like Charlize Theron is South African, but I think there's a difference between Charlize Theron and you. Yeah, if y'all were both born in Africa. It's also a cultural identity, but you know, what's his name? Joaquin Phoenix was born in Puerto Rico.
Could she be seen as African American?
Right.
She is.
Yeah.
She is.
That's a bitch, ain't it?
I mean, some politician made a joke and everybody was like giving him shit about it because like he's like Shirley, he's like I love the support of African Americans.
But
she's not. But is she Is she an American citizen now? Because she was
now she is. Now she is.
So
she's South African, so now she's an African American.
What about Elon Musk? Is Elon Musk African American?
I guess he can say that.
Was he born in Africa too?
So he's South African too.
South African as well.
We can't keep a goddamn thing, man. We can't keep a goddamn thing, man.
Right.
Hey, listen, there are millions of white people in South Africa that call themselves Africans. Period.
Yep.
Right.
Afrikaners. Yeah.
So if they come over here and are legal Americans, they are literally African
Americans.
We can't even have African American.
It's on their passports and their IDs. It's there in black and white. I promise you.
No, I believe you. It's true.
Reese, before we pass you again, we will pass the mic to you. Do you have anything to say before I jump into the next thing?
Y'all were on complexions when I jumped in and talking about the darker skinned women. I think that they dominate the modeling industry for the past half a century. My favorites were all the darks and darker ones, and I think everybody else. You know the name.
Dominate.
Okay.
Dominate at the top 4 positions.
Dominate.
The top.
I'm just gonna fall back, Lily. You can have that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to jump in this because this is my lane. Yeah. I've had a lot of issues in the modeling world when it comes to the complexion, and this is one of the things that I have. What you will find is novelty black, right? They have to be blue black and have a masculine haircut. Whenever they're dark skinned, they have to be novelty dark. And they're always going to make them have more. They want to make them cut their hair if they have long hair and do the natural short hair. Check it out now that I've said that. Okay.
Beverly Johnson, Roshamba.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like in recent times, like within the 2000s.
Yeah, I ain't caught
right?
up.
Yeah, like now the supermodels from back in the day who were everything, they were a variety. Yeah. Now we don't have that variety. If they're going to be black, they're going to either be racially ambiguous, or you're going to skip past everything else, and then you're going to go straight to novelty black, and they're going to always give them a more masculine look. Right.
Oh,
you know
wow.
what? I'm gonna ask my daughter about that. She's at the New York joint right now while we're talking.
Well, that's what I do for a living. So
I modeled for like 5 years myself. I got discovered walking down the street.
So what I'm saying is, just take a look at that from this point on. When you're looking at commercials, when you're looking at different things, you're going to see a large chunk of Black women missing when it comes to complexion.
I can't dispute that. You're right. I saw it, man. I saw it with my own eyes.
Okay, all right.
But I'm talking about the top spots that I've seen over, like, if you think modeling, right? The top 4 or 5 names that you're going to think of, like, over the last 5 centuries are all like dark complected women. And even when you get down to the middle, you're going to run into Tyra Banks and others. You know what I mean?
But you're still talking about before now. Like, it's gotten worse. Yeah. Colorism has gotten worse. And like I said, if they're going to be dark skinned, they're going to be blue black, and they're going to make them more masculine looking.
Like Alec Weck?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but I mean,
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
My question is this: that because when it comes to modeling and things like that, it's usually trends, and so there's always going to be trends. It's not necessarily. I'm not acting like I'm an expert in this, but is that colorism, or is that just a trend that's going right now? Because he's bringing
trends.
But modeling industry, you got skinny women, and then you got the waist, and now it's more full figured. You know what I'm saying? They go in trends. So that's why I'm saying he's bringing you a history for the last 50 years where he mentioned people that weren't fitting that description, and now you're saying recently, and that's why I'm bringing it up. Is that trendy?
Well, I'm talking the last 20 years, since 2000 on till this morning. So if that's a 20-year trend,
I can attest that. I've seen that though. I've seen that like the real dark-skinned girls, they'll look a little masculine.
They always do.
I have seen that. Whether it's
someone had said that in the chat.
They'll be very statuesque, but their jawline will be very, very pronounced. They'll have some very strong features.
And they're going to make them cut their hair. They're going to make them cut their hair. Yeah,
I've seen that.
And
so let me ask a question. Let me go back to that whole ethnicity, culture, all that shit. So if, let's say, there was a program and they were like, we're only helping 10 African students born in Africa, right? And then there were like 7 Caucasian students that were born in Africa, right? Who they were helping, and then 3 dark skin, and that made up the 10. Would people get pissed off?
Yes.
They're all African though.
Yes. You would see Maxine Waters and all of them.
He said Maxine Waters.
You'd see them all. Ben Crump would jump on it. I promise you. They'd be marching.
Ben Crump is so annoying to me. But anyway, that's a show for another day. I do want to ask the fellas a question. I want you to be completely honest. Don't be capping because we're in public. Hit that like for me, please. I still got more people watching and lurking than I got likes. Fellas, when you read and see and hear Black women making fun of these dead men, right? These dead men, it's said death paves the ways to all sins, right? So back in the day before social media, we would be like, I ain't like that bitch, but then he dead. I don't got nothing bad to say because the person's dead. Fuck it, right? Now we're in a whole new world. Now, if you don't like somebody, but I've always been that way. If I hated you in life, I hate you in death. But now it's like you see it a lot more, right? What people are making fun of it and who gives a fuck. And, well, how did you look when they said about Tyre Nichols specifically, he made fun of Black girls fighting. He was like, and they were like, well, look at you. You died fighting. How did your wig feel? Or, whatever. As Black men, how do you feel when you see and hear and read that? Does it trigger you? Do you feel bad? Is it jarring? Are you like, damn, that's fucked up? How do you feel?
I feel like what they do is they magnify and they amplify the stigma of the angry Black woman. Like angry Black woman. They're like, see, that's what I mean. They can't even be civil when it comes to their own dying. I think what it does is just like, it kind of see like, that's what we're talking about. That's what it is. And the funny thing is they don't realize, like, if like say a white person says that about a white dude who got beat to death, it's just not viewed as badly, as gravely as when a Black person, because the expectation, it's almost like they're expected to be that vitriolic and that kind of hateful and stuff like that, and that kind of evil, mean-spirited. So what I'm saying, what they're doing is they're just perpetuating that stereotype and making it worse for all Black women.
I have a different outlook on this.
What you got, Reese?
I feel bad for the female making the comment. Because if you have a sting inside of you that is that deep and piercing, that you're roasting someone who can't even appreciate the roast. They're gone, right? So you're basically doing it to gaslight the living men. You know what I'm saying? And that means you have something dark inside of you. You know what I mean? It's a double negative. The guy you're roasting can't get the roast, and you're sending sneak shots to the rest of the men that are alive.
That's a great
You're talking
point.
about all of us by default. There's something
That's a great point.
inside of there. And I feel more sorrow for the woman that said that than the actual dead guy, because she's living with the pain. I
didn't think about that, because I'm like, he can't see it. So you're right. So it's taking shots at the living. Haram, what say you?
Whenever I see that, I just see, first of all, I just see a group of people that need to get on medication. Or, you know, I mean, you know, when you just hipping and hollering over somebody who died that you ain't never even met in your life, but you're connecting what they did to something someone else did to you in your life. You have some real serious things going on. And some of these people have children. And this goes for Black men and Black women. Whenever I see that, I just see another example of how, again, like I said before, the two genders, there's a sect of the two genders that just hate each other. And that section is being pushed to the forefront as if this is how everyone feels about each other. No, there's a sect of Black people who love each other, who believe in Black love, who are trying to find each other and so on, or whatever. But there's a number of things that I just find so odd. I find so funny. Like with the Black guys, you know what I mean? When it comes to a lot of these Black dudes, they run to these other sides of the country, of the sides of the world rather, to seek love, because they said they can't find love from Black women here in America. And of course, these men perceive themselves to be good men. And then you have these women here who lambast these other Black men, and they drag them and they celebrate their deaths, and they believe that they believe that themselves are good Black women. And I said to myself, like, wow, man, the two of you motherfuckers must have terrible luck, because you just can't find each other. Y'all must be the most unluckiest motherfuckers in the world, because according to both of you, you're incredible people. Sans, going over to the other side of the world, you know what I mean, and messing around with, underage girls and children and shit like that. And,
okay, bringing it back, I'm not going to let y'all off the hook. I'm not. Okay.
What you want me to? I didn't answer your question.
Okay, no, none of you did actually. First, I want to say.
What do you expect me to say?
Wait a minute. Let me acknowledge Don Lamont. Thank you for the super chat, Don Lamont. Please hit that like for me, lurkers, lovers, and losers. Because I know some of you losers are watching me too, though you hate me to the core. Hi, bitch. Hi, bitch.
Hey, yeah, cussing your ass out.
That was Sandra from Game of Thrones.
This was my question, gentlemen. I love y'all to death, but I'm not gonna let you skate. Take the skates off. Now, all three of you told me what you think about the women spewing that vitriol. What I asked was, how does it make you feel? That's what I asked. Not what you think about them saying it. How does it make you feel as a Black man? You're reading this shit. It's vitriolic. They're laughing at a dead person. Black men, abort the Black men. Kill the Black men. The cops aren't killing you fast enough. How do you feel?
All I can say is sad.
That's well, okay. Well, hey, man. If that's the question, I don't feel nothing, because I don't really like them chicks anyway. Half the times I ain't really checking for you anyway. So
I'm on that Mr. T shit. I pity the fool.
You know what I mean? Like, like, okay, you called me a bullet bag. You called me this. Okay. I wasn't checking for you anyway, though. So it's like
I pity you because you a miserable person and you showing it, and I pity the fact that this is where you feel like you're gonna express and put so to the world exactly how pitiful you are. I pity you.
So you got pity, sadness, and I don't give a fuck.
Nah, because it's like it doesn't affect me. It really doesn't affect me. You know what I mean? You and I, we don't go in the same. We're not in the same circles. I don't spend money on women like you. You know what I mean? I'm just not around women like you. The 90% of the time, the only kind of contact I'm going to have with a woman like you is if I turn my computer off. If I had enough, I'll just turn it off. You know what I mean? It's just like, I just don't have that kind of connection. Look, listen, this is the problem. More people need to really adopt that kind of thinking. Look, y'all out here worrying about people who don't want you. Y'all out here worrying about people who don't give a fuck about you. You're obsessed about them. You know what I mean? Okay, so he made those tweets. Would you want to fuck him? Is he your type?
Right. That's what I don't understand.
Then guess what? Even if he didn't make those kinds of tweets, you probably would have been checking for the nigga anyway. So let's just call it what it is. You know what I mean?
Well, but that's why I went back to obviously hurt people. Obviously, Tyre Nichols experienced something in his life being, that dark skin, right? He was a skateboarder. He was kind of dweeby. Not saying all skateboarders are dweeby. Lots of you are really fucking cool, man. But just looking at him, very slim guy, very dark skin, skateboarder. I even went to his photography website, like to take pictures. Probably not the most ideal candidate, right? For the average girl. I mean, I wouldn't have dated him. So I'm not just talking about Black women, like he wasn't my type either. So maybe he found some sort of solace in these simple, plain Jane white girls, right? Because it's not like he was dating dimes. Like all the women I saw that he was kissing on his Instagram, I was like, oh, okay, yeah. That looks like the type of white girl.
Yeah, but sisters in the Bay was, even though Sacramento was the fake Bay, people in the Bay, sisters in the fake Bay wasn't checking for Tyre Nichols. I can tell you, he wasn't the vibe in a black dark skinned skater, corny skater dude. That's not the vibe in the Bay or the fake Bay.
I mean, and I think that's the reality that a lot of Black women and Black men don't want to touch. That a lot of the people that probably could live up to a lot of the ideas that you have about marriage, the ideas that you have about companionship, a lot of those people you're just not attracted to. You're just not checking for them. And the people that you are attracted to, the people that you want in your bed, they're no good for you. They're probably toxic. They're probably fucked up. And you allow yourself to believe that what you experience with that person or persons is a clear representation of every other, Black person, male or female in the world. Now, look, listen. Life would be a lot easier if we all just admitted that to some degree we're very shallow. Being shallow is just natural. People don't necessarily date with what's up here. They date with what's going on up here, and they date with what's happening on down here. You know what I mean? And I've done it 1,001 times. We've all done it. Biology usually wins. But when you reach a certain age in life, if this is what you want, 9 times out of 10, most people, when you ask them what they want in a partner, what do they say? I want a nice person. I want a good conversationalist. Blah blah blah. So and so.
Bullshit.
Lies.
Bullshit.
And then guess what? They end up with a motherfucker that looks 6'6". The motherfucker got a square jaw. He can barely speak.
I want a nice ass.
You know what I mean? Exactly. This nigga
I've been doing my squats.
He got bulletproof abs. You know what I mean? You're like, but guess what? You try to get in a conversation with this motherfucker. He has a reading comprehension of an 8-year-old. He can barely hold a conversation.
I'm nice enough for the both of us.
But there you go. but he's great. And it is what it is. And when that happens, I just look at women and go, okay, yeah.
Well, let me say this. African Goddess is dancing on graves, honey. She said, I'm sure they have social media in hell. It's probably hard for Kevin Samuels and Tyre to stay still to read the comments, but nevertheless, they can hear the sisters' comments. African Goddess is dancing on graves tonight.
And they're probably getting their dick sucked by a white woman. So, you know what I mean?
She the one that
probably
took a shot at the dead girl that got beat by the police.
It's not entirely hard for African Goddess. They're probably not a white woman.
Like I said,
what her tweets say.
Like I said, it says less about them and more about you, African Goddess. Real talk.
Coño, Dios mío. This is for you. You don't know. You have no idea because everybody's using an avatar. But African Goddess to come up. I'd love to have her up here. Black Republican is for you, Her Honor. Why would someone who can't spend $1,200 a year, who are fit and feminine and childless, compared to narcissistic women in USA who you have to argue with every week, spend $24,000 a year on an apartment? ¿Qué?
24,000. Where you live?
Right. First of all, you can't even afford to put a profile picture up. So, like, I don't even know where you get these stats from. Like,
damn.
But where you live for 24,000 a year?
That question wasn't put together too good either.
Right. Yeah, I know. I had a hard time reading that. So, Black Republican.
Take that money, however that math adds up. Let's spend that on reading comprehension.
Let's spend
that on education, sir. And, you know, I don't know what he even asked me.
He might have a messed up key on his keyboard, man. Leave him alone.
I don't know what he even fucking asked me. All I was saying is
I don't think he was.
It sounds like he's an honorary passport, bro.
I don't think he was coming at you. I don't think he was coming at you. I think you said something. He was just asking you a question. Okay.
I just didn't.
I don't think he was coming at me.
His situation wasn't correct. He could have put a line there, and possibly there. They would have changed the whole dynamic. Yeah.
Conjunctions. This is why we have conjunctions and commas. Right. You know what I mean? So it's just like. But anyway.
Damn. African Goddess said Tyre looked like.
Not Tyrese. Tyrese is the guy on Transformers and Tyrese.
She can't even get the guy name.
Baby boy.
She cares not what the name of his real
Fast and the Furious.
Telling on herself right there, yo. Like
she said, African Goddess says Tyre looked like a Slim Jim gargoyle. Let's keep it a buck, folks.
And you are explaining him why he probably was out.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
You probably a woman like you probably said that to his face.
And guess what? Though? Guess what? Though I'll just say one thing, Lily. Let me just say one thing. The same reason that you just said, Dan, is the same reason why a lot of black women go and find white men.
Right.
Because a bunch of black men told them that they ain't attractive. Blah blah blah. So yeah, he probably did the same shit black women do.
Like you said, both sexes do it, you know?
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
I thought he had a cute face, if it helps. He had like dimples, and I thought he had a cute face.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well. Okay.
So,
welcome back, George Cook.
I want to fuck with me.
Locked up. Yeah.
What happened, Dame?
Red just wants all the smoke from Dame tonight. He want me to go give me some dark liquor and start
let me say this. There are a couple subbies that I have. They come straight from the Star Report, and the word meme is big over there. So that's probably what you see. That's probably what you see because the word meme is big over there. So that's really where I hear it the most.
But you know what the thing about this?
Huh? What? He has whole streams. It is ruthless. You think it's ruthless over here?
That damn Star.
Woo-wee. He watches this. He watches us though.
Star's the GOAT.
See, this is the thing. Like, you can't shame anybody to wanting to like your kind or like you or want to be with you or change their mind. Like, I don't understand. Is that a form of, like, if we bash these men or bash these women enough that they'll come to their senses and realize that we're the catch. That's a little counterproductive. Like, you know, like I don't understand. Like, if someone is telling you, I don't want to be with you or don't want to be with your kind, that's less energy you have to waste on them. Go where you're wanted and appreciated and all of those things, even if it's outside of your race. I mean, hey, the problem is when you have to down your own race. And my thing is, and now I'm about to put my white people on the spot here, like because I know, George, you be in a lot of hot spots. Is he frozen? You be a lot of hot spots, but in the white people spots, do the white men bash white women when they start dating outside of their race?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they especially early on, like if a white woman goes with a black dude, it's kind of like they look at it as she has lowered herself.
Oh.
She is like not. She is like they will not touch her. It's like if she has a mixed race baby, out. They will not. Most they will. You know, today they probably will give you the politically correct answer. Say, "Oh, I'm fine," but yeah.
George Cook coming with the KKK facts up in this bitch.
This is historical.
That is a fact.
I'll say, yeah. It is in certain groups. I will say that. I also say that it really depends on what the woman looks like. If it's a really good looking woman, it's going to get them pissed off. If it's
listen, y'all.
You see when Haran says this shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? When I say
but you're wrong, but we're okay. Yeah.
But I think it's different in this sense. I don't think white women get pissed off at white guys when they go out with black women. I don't think it's as prevalent like that.
I haven't heard that either. Yeah.
So it's different in that sense.
My grandmother's from Portugal, right? And she married a man that was mixed with black out of spite to anger her racist parents and grandparents, and then fled Portugal with this man. And she was outcasted. Like, that's where the history cuts off. My Puerto Rican, my Portuguese history. I don't know anything after that.
Puerto Rican men are like that too. Like I've been hearing that my whole life. Like, you with a black guy? I'm like,
but I want to
we black.
I would like the brothers out there is like, I don't really hear brothers tripping about when a sister get with a white dude. Like, got that tough.
If it's Gabby Sitterbang, they don't care.
No.
But when it was Stacey Dash before we realized she was an honorary white, they was a little bit upset.
Well, Stacey, that's biracial, so she can, you know, she just half who she is.
I think the reason why it's uneven is because black men are very much desired by everybody.
True.
Everywhere they fucking go, right? I don't know why I can't stand these motherfuckers, but anyway.
True.
They're desired. They're desired by everybody, so they probably feel the sting less when a black woman gets what they like. We don't give a like.
That's the problem, though. I think that's where the resentment comes from.
Yes, because let me tell you something. Black men
can't necessarily say the same thing.
Black men have options without having shit.
Yes.
Right? Yes. Black men have options without having shit. That's why it's really crazy. That's why I don't understand the passport bro theory. Because I'm like, any black man in this country is going to be desired by somebody. So if you can't get somebody in this country, you down bad.
I used to say that living in Atlanta, like I would be like, ooh, this is a horrible city to date in, because everyone wants the masculine black man, whether you're talking about a black woman, a white woman, a black gay man, a white gay man, a trans woman. Like, everybody wants the masculine black gay man. I mean, the black man. And sometimes he go ahead and partake in them all.
You know what you can do with that sign.
They know.
I did some research, Jen, and I jumped on a panel with some chicks from Brazil, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we did some mathematics. Mm-hmm. There are 10 times the amount of black women in Brazil alone than the entire United States.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that these so-called passport bros are looking at.
I mean, I've heard that before.
It's not all about buying booty on the beach and all that. Yeah, that happens. But the majority of that country is just regular folk just like us. So the numbers are bigger over there. The attitude and all that doesn't even matter. Mathematically, they have a better shot in other places because there's more black women there. And people don't even notice. There's other parts of the world that are like that too. South Africa.
Reese, isn't it true that Portugal was like the biggest slave trader, and that's why that they had they did more, they brought in more slaves. This is what I heard about Brazil, that colony over there, that they brought in more slaves.
I got a little bit of my family history, right? So some of my ancestors were actually merchants on slave ships back and forth to South America, and I found out that when slavery stopped here, they stopped it there and then started it back up again. And people don't even know that slavery in South America was much, much bigger than it was here. So slavery that happened to the American black people was not the biggest atrocity in human history. Not even top 4. There were worse things that happened. I'm telling you.
We hold on to our trauma, though, a little bit longer, a little bit more. And
think about what happened to white people. Trapped in caves for thousands of years. And you want to talk about stress?
So let me before we get to the white cave people, let me ask this question about the topic. let me ask this. Do you think that do you think that it's fair, black women specifically asking other black women to not go and fight for justice for these slain black men? Do you think that's fair, or do you think it's fucked up? You think it's fair?
No, I don't think it's fucked up. I don't think it's
fucked up.
I mean, nah.
Fucked up, fair? Which who?
I don't think it's fair at all, because it's like, if you don't want to do that, mind your fucking business. Right? Okay. Stop speaking for people. You know, I mean, that's another thing people need to really stop doing. Allowing people to have their own opinions, own thoughts, own ways of handling the situation.
Damien.
I'm right there with him. I'm just leave it like that. It's like, leave it. Yeah.
Well said. What can you add to that?
Yeah. Seriously, just leave him the fuck alone. If you don't want to
motherfucking business. Yeah.
If you don't.
But you
Lily, what you think?
We live in a hive mentality society, unfortunately, right? This society in social media has really shown us that most people are followers. And so, and then most people can't stand on their own shit and their own opinion and say, this is what I feel, this is what I'm going to do. I don't give a fuck who does it or not. So, and to be honest with you, when I shared about, the whole thing with me not marching and stuff like that, I kept that to myself for a long time because that was my stuff. That was nothing. I didn't want no one else to like, oh yeah, let me not march too. And let me do, no, do whatever you want to do. It's none of my business. Right. I have my reasons for doing what I do and not doing what I do. They're mine. And I'm okay with that. I don't need support. So yeah, that's mine.
Yeah. That's just like you said. It's just normal for people to try to justify their position by getting you to agree with it. They're trying to say, or changing. If you don't, then they feel like you need to change your perspective to match theirs because it gives credence to what they're feeling.
So let me up the ante a little bit. Just a different point of view. What do you think about, let's say, a Cynthia G, right? We all know she's extreme. She's like the female counterpart to Kevin Samuels. I get it, right? But what about people like her and other people that are just looking out for black women, that are hell-bent on getting these black men that don't desire them, right? Collectively, that's the vibe. Black men don't desire you. Why keep chasing them when they don't prefer you? This is how they talk about you. You shouldn't have their babies because they're going to leave X, Y, and Z. What about women that are just looking out for other black women, telling them to let go of this black male worship that they have, especially when it's not reciprocal? Like maybe she's doing it to look out. Maybe other women are doing it to look out for these black women who are holding these candles for black men, and the black men collectively aren't checking for them. What do you think about that? Maybe they're just helping.
I don't see that's what she's doing. I see that she's monetizing off of their trauma. That's one. And the other women are, their payoff is getting their hatred validated by other women. So that's what's going on here. I don't see a bunch of help. And who's getting helped? Who's healing? Where's the solution? Where's the end goal? They've been crying and yelling and wishing death upon people for how long? What has come from it? What has the needle been moved forward for their plight? What is their plight?
What if she inspires them to date outside of Black and date other races of men or other ethnicities of men? Wouldn't that be kind of like a healing?
I guess so, child. Just do what you, get in where you fit in. Just get in where you fit in.
She believes, but she's talking about deleting people. She's talking about getting people out of here before they even
I mean,
that's next level. Like that's anger and hatred, and the ones listening, they all come from the same. Those are the first 4 rows of church. You walk in any Black church, and those 4 first rows, those are those women. You know what I mean? That've been pushed out the game completely. They don't even count no more. That's who that is.
My issue is that she generalizes. You know, there's plenty of so-called good Black men out there. You know what I mean? You know, just for some strange reason, y'all can't find these motherfuckers.
I will say this, so we all generalize. That's why I did this, right?
Here's the point that I'm making, Jim. Like, I've been through a bunch of stuff with Black women. You know what I mean? For years, I don't sit here and collectively believe that all Black women are fucked up. There are some beautiful Black women out there. There's some great Black women out there. I have met them. I just happen to have been the fucked up one. It's just what it is, you know. But here's my thing.
Check the private chat, everybody. Check the private chat, everybody.
If she said, hey, you know, go out there, date whomever you want to date, you know what I mean, let go of, you know what I mean, any kind of trauma, so on and so forth, or whatever, do whatever works for you, yada yada, you know, then fine. But when you're talking about, you know, deleting Black male babies and you just shove this narrative that, you know, they all need to be, you know, exterminated, it's just very extremist. And there's nothing good out of extremism. Nothing good can come out of extremism, because dogma only creates more dogma, you know, and it only, you know, there's no space for original thought. There's no space for any kind of clear thinking. It's the same thing as, you know, inceldom. It's the same shit. You know, when you start creating all these groups and factions that hate women and target women and so on and so forth, this shit just ain't healthy, man.
Yeah, I don't think.
Don't you think that, before you answer, Dame, don't you think that she's talking about a specific demographic of Black men that women should steer clear from? Because when I listen to Cynthia G, it's harsh. It is fucked up. But so was Kevin Samuels. When Kevin Samuels is talking about women, was he talking about all Black women? Of course he wasn't, right? Of course he wasn't.
That for you, Jen?
But yeah, in a minute, Reese.
Right.
So I would think, I'm sorry. I think that she's doing a good thing, honestly. I think she's doing a good thing. I think she's telling these women, because these women, obviously, if you didn't want a Black man, I don't think you'd listen to Cynthia G. But she's obviously talking to Black women that are still pining for Black men. I don't think women that don't want Black men give a fuck what Cynthia G is saying. Similarly with Kevin Samuels. Why are all those men in there talking shit about Black women if they don't want Black women? I don't check for shows that talk about people I don't want to be with. I just don't. Right. So I'm like, is she helping them? I think in a way she's helping them, like, still steer clear of this. Don't get pregnant by these men. Don't date these men. With that said, of course, she's fucking monetizing off of Black pain. Of course she is. Right. There's a lot of money in Black trauma. We see these YouTube channels popping up every day. These YouTube channels are popping up, right? Telling you who not to be with. But you don't think she's helping in a way? From the outside looking in, I'm like, I think she's helping them because they still want Black men and they keep getting caught up with Black men.
Hold on. Also, a couple things there. There's a lot to unpack there. A couple things. Number one,
let's unpack. Y'all said 30. We got 30.
Okay. Hold on. All right, basically what it is like, number one, she's not influencing women or helping women open their minds to date out of the race. All it's going to do is make them shit talk the black men that they are dating, that they are trying to date, and not give it a real chance because they're going to have the expectations that black men, for the most part, aren't shit. So I don't think they're helping them to say, oh, you know, maybe I should go where I'm accepted or I'm celebrated or everything. That's the kind of a frame. Don't go where you're tolerated, go where you're celebrated. Mm-hmm. I don't think that's happening. I think what it's doing is just making their interactions with black men much more tumultuous than it needs to be if she's putting ahead that these black men ain't shit. And like another thing, if you don't fuck with black men in mass, 87, I think it was, I don't know if it's 83 or 87, and there was an 8 in there, of black men marry black women. They want to be with black women. So if 13 or 17% of them end up marrying outside of the race, let that shit fly, because there's still the vast majority of black men want to be with black women. That's just a fact. So it's a simple fact that if she's going and thinking, okay, because of the minor amount of people, the 13 or 17%, whatever it is, that date outside the race and prefer to date outside their race, you're going to shit 83% of the population and make them think that you're going to lump 83% of the men in with those other cats. And most of them don't, even though that 13 or 70%, most of them don't shit talk black women. That's even a smaller percentage. They just prefer what they prefer. You know, so, and I think, so if you go into thinking that this is how black men are nowadays, this is what they're doing, women, you need to go and open your mind, it's not going to happen. All they're going to do is go into their interactions with black men with a negative mindset, and the shit won't work out. And it's just going to be that circle of, you know, shit not working out. And it's going to exacerbate the situation, in my opinion.
Okay, so before we pass, I want to pass the mic to you, Lily, okay. But I want to throw a little cap at Damien, just a little cap. Okay, would you say that? Would you say it's not a big cap, it's a little cap? Would you say the same of Kevin Samuels and how he incited riots in his chats with things like, after 35, you're a leftover, your womb is no good, you're gonna die alone, you need a cat? Do you think that he sent those black men off into the world to have a more tumultuous interaction with black women? He did the same thing.
Okay, you can't call cap because I'm agreeing with what you're saying.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'll take my little cat back. I'll take my little cat back.
I agree. They're both doing the exact same thing to the people, to their followers. They're doing the exact same thing. Kevin was more tactile with it, so it was harder for most people to kind of see it, because he was a little more. He was better at it, at hiding his shit, than she was, or he just didn't have it, and it was all about monetizing the situation. But as like I said, I agree. They both were doing the same thing. They both were putting shit out in the world that made interactions with people in the same race more difficult.
Okay, Lily, you were saying.
Well, I was going to piggyback off of that because I was having a conversation with someone earlier. And you ever got a new job that you was excited about?
Yes.
And then you get there, and then the people in the corner complaining about the job, right? And you stay in that corner too long listening to their ass, and all of a sudden you got the same damn complaints they got.
Yep.
Right? So
it's called the circle.
Right. Bingo. So as I grew, I had to learn, like, oh, I like this job. I have no problem with this job. I'm making good money. I'm in and out, no stress. Let me stay away from that damn corner. Because if I stay in that damn corner too long, it's the same thing with the Cynthia G's and the Kevin Samuels. The thing is, when I look at it, because I've stated something similar in the manosphere circles before, that I'm all for freedom of speech. I will fight for anybody to say what they need to say, and you could be talking about my black ass, right? Mm-hmm. The line I cross is when we start talking about death and or violence, because like if we turn that around and we have a male manosphere person wishing death on women, black women, that looks different and it looks scary.
They're out there.
They're out there. And we've addressed them. And so I'm holding the same fire to those type of people as well. I feel like that's where it can get dangerous. Because because wives with knives, things like that.
Yes.
I mean, so that's what I don't like. That's my biggest thing.
Yeah. Code Red, this is funny. He said single 35 leftover women is common logic in China. If that's the route you want to go, the way, men in China take care of their families and all of that, like people cookie cut what they want to take from other cultures
or religion.
Like you can't cookie cut. Like they said 30, they also have men in the home that don't leave their children. Like, it's like, you know what I mean? You can't really.
The wall thing is hilarious to me. Like, what the fuck does that mean?
I mean,
like, is it something that they really believe in their head? Because this man with like the nose job and the suit and the cologne, the nice cologne said, like I'm just because.
Hold up, nose job. Well, I'm finding about all these YouTubers getting surgery. What the hell is going on?
Yeah, they got to.
Yeah, she had.
Are you serious?
I just think men, because it's funny, and it's both. Damien is right. It's both. It's the Cynthia G's and the Kevin Samuels. But it's like people will parrot and repeat anything that strengthens, to justify, that they shouldn't be rejected. Right. A lot of the guys are like 35 and over, hit the wall, are single. Right. They don't have anybody under or above the wall or behind the wall.
That's
on the side of the wall. They're not running around with a 25-year-old who's hot.
Right.
So the average man saying, you hit the wall. And I'm like, well, let me see your girlfriend. Let me see your ex. And then let me see your ex before that ex.
Exactly.
Let me see your ex before that ex.
Look, man, 40 sucks for everybody, when it comes to dating. I mean, if you're out there,
not for me.
Like that,
I'm about to say, speak for yourself.
You alone, honey.
It sucks for me because one of the things that I have to deal with is that once I'm 40, I have to be expected to spend more time outside of the frivolous shit that I actually want to do with the person. People tend to want to be a lot more clingy and more personable, when they're 40. You have to want to be in a relationship.
It's true. He's right.
What I mean? You know what I mean? You have to want to be in a relationship.
Opposite. I went the opposite.
You're a one-off, man.
I just want a situation.
I was super clingy when I was young. Super clingy when I was younger. Now I'm like,
well, no, me
I'm
and
not
Jen
into
on
the
the same
clingy
page when
shit.
it comes to that.
I'm not into the generation shit in my life.
But didn't Ginger say her ultimate relationship would be like what's that movie where it's just them two in the basement with nobody around?
Yes,
she knows she's not going to get it, so she's like, okay,
thank you,
realistic.
Thank you.
And I respect her.
Damien, it's either that or all the way single.
Right.
I ain't got no in between. I don't have no in between.
Right. I respect all of that. You know how many people told me they respect you for that? I meant to tell you. They was like, I fucked with her. That is so
it's that or this. I don't want the in between. It's like either you're gonna be crazy with me or we gonna play.
Cox Odious asked, he basically said, do white women ever say I'm done with white men? Actually, yeah, they kind of do. White women just say they're done with men. They don't necessarily say white men. Actually, you need to understand something. I've spoken to a number of white men. I have a few white male friends. Y'all got to stop sitting here and thinking that white men and white women have this incredible relationship, man.
Yeah, it's hell over there.
They hate each other too. You know what I mean?
Over there.
That's what I've been wondering. I don't know.
They pretty much own everything. So
they're the ones that put up those 70% divorce.
Didn't the manosphere was started by white men? Hello.
Exactly. So I need y'all to really please don't deify the relationships of white people, man. Bob in marketing is he's about a good two years away from killing his wife. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But anyway, for me personally,
to the Black Republican, stop worrying about when a woman's eggs dry up and worry about how close you are to a limp dick. Go look at the statistics on erectile dysfunction. Before you come for a woman's eggs, go look at the statistics for erectile dysfunction. Y'all always worried about the wrong shit. Men are too concerned. They're like doctors for women. I don't know when y'all became GYNs. Leave women's bodies alone. Worry if it's not limp right now, it's gonna go limp. Porque coño.
Or worry about why nobody won it. How about that?
Right. Like what the fuck? Go clean the smut from behind your dickhead. Stop it.
What are the stats? I need to hear that.
I'm like, I'm hearing all these men now. They're like GYNs. Their eggs dry up, and what the fuck about erectile dysfunction?
I'm gonna put y'all onto $1 million worth of games. Bad chicks don't hit the wall. I don't give a fuck what y'all.
I had no motherfucking wall. Fuck
Bad chicks
y'all.
don't ever hit the wall. I don't know what you're
I
talking
told Jen this story. So my grandma, right? She's 86. She retired. I told you this, right? My grandma retired at 81. Now she doesn't look like what you. If you're picturing 81, that's not what she looks like. Okay, she hasn't hit the wall like, and she's in her 80s. So she retired, and I was like, Grandma, I don't want you to retire and stop doing anything and die on me, because she's very youthful. You know, she's very active. She worked for 60 years. She worked with young people, so she doesn't know old people shit. Like, I go over her house one day, and she was like, yeah, what do you think about Nicki Minaj stocking Cardi B's bags? I was like, Grandma, okay, first of all, after this, don't talk about that again to anyone else. Like,
but wasn't that, and the men could correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't that a phrase used for athletes, or am I bugging?
What?
Hit the wall.
Oh, hit the wall. Oh.
Basically, but hit the wall. I think there's all kinds of people understand we hit the wall. My understanding from multiple sources, not just Kevin Samuels, was hit the wall means you've got to a point where you are not able to get the highest possible man that you could have gotten at another time in your life. It's like, so if you were 28, you were in the best shape, most fertile, looking the best you ever looked, everything was tight and toned, and you didn't take advantage of it. When you get to around 35, then the dude you could have got, you may not be able to get him anymore. You may have to bring it down to where, okay, you may not get the 3 6s, you may just get 2 of the 3 6s. And have to rock with that.
But that sounds like, wait a minute, wait. I gotta hold on. No, but let me ask you. So men hit a wall too, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, they do.
Because here's the thing. Of course, when you're there's an echo. Of course, when you're 29-year-old woman in your prime, whatever, you're not gonna get the 30-year-old some in your prime. But I'm like, you can be an older woman and still get the baddest motherfucker in the room if you look good.
Right.
Because Jeff Bezos' chick, that's an old bitch. She's now 25. She's not 29.
Hold on.
Like, I feel like I get better prospects now in my 40s than I did. Hold on.
But her husband that she had before him was far better looking, because when it was about the looks and the appeal, we
don't date for looks. So take looks off the table. Women don't give a.
Yeah, they do when they're young. That's all they give a fuck about. That's why that's all they give a fuck about.
That's a fucking lie. You're talking to a woman. How are a bunch of dicks on the panel going to tell me what women want when we're young?
You only know.
Are y'all crazy?
What do you want when you're young? What do you want when you're young?
Are you freaking crazy? The same. Let me tell you something. In my 20s, I wanted a motherfucker with money. Now, would I slide off with the good-looking guy? Yeah, but I didn't want to fucking marry the fucking good-looking guy. We're still hypergamous at every fucking age. At every fucking age.
That's just like you all, like you will marry one and fuck the other. It's the
same. Hold on.
It's the same thing.
Let me see. Hold on.
You'll have a good-looking girlfriend, but you'll fuck the fat chick and don't tell nobody about it.
And not only that, but all right, different. I understand what you're saying too, Damon. Like, of course, different places and phases. It is natural that men and women in their 20s want something else, in their 30s want something else, in their 40s want something else. So you can't tell a woman who's 55 years old, oh look, you can't get the guy that you could have got when you were 25. She's a 55-year-old woman. She wants something else.
Well, hold on. All right. Let me.
Else. She doesn't want the 25-year-old whatever, unless she got a rich husband and she's fucking him on the weekends.
Hold on. So like I was saying, so the difference is, like, men, because we make our money later on in age. Then we become, if women are hypergamous and want the man with money, we're more likely to have money when we're 40 and up. So if we saying, okay, if you're saying at 23 you want a guy with money, the 40-year-old got the money, the 23-year-old ain't got the money. So it's just like, so at 40-year-old saying I can date the 23-year-old or the 55-year-old guy, I can date the 55-year-old woman, or I could date the 25-year-old woman because she wants my money and I have my money and I have no problem getting it. That's what I'm saying. The likelihood of you getting the same woman, the same man that the 25-year-old is significantly less, and you gotta keep it funky, and you gotta admit that.
Well, I can't. Then let's go back to Jen's okay, no, let's go back to Jen's an outlier because I can right now date a fucking 19-year-old, a 25-year-old, a 35-year-old, a 45-year-old, a 55-year-old, a 65-year-old. I really do. A 75-year-old. I really do have that option. Literally, I can go out and date a fucking 25-year-old right now and whip him if I want.
You are not all women. So don't say you do that to men. You are not all women.
I keep telling you that. You keep making the mistake that most
about you.
You know, you keep thinking that your issues is the same issues that women deal with. I keep telling you about
all right, but I don't get is how are men? All right, then riddle me this. All the Batmans on the panel.
You're not alone.
Jen, okay, you're all alone,
don't let them beat up on you. You're not
all alone. I know
riddle me this. All the Batmans on the panel. Okay, what I don't understand is all these men who are at a wall, who can't get even a me at any age. That's what perturbs me about this subject. Okay. There are no Dwayne "The Rock" Johnsons or Jason Momoas telling other women that they hit the wall. Why is that?
Because they don't have to weaponize that. That's their way of getting back.
Okay. All right. I will concede.
Getting back.
Great. I will concede to that.
Now, right here.
They ain't got no problems with chicks.
Is it the same way they weaponize body count?
Wait one second. Black Republican says, Jen, women lose 90% of their eggs at age 30.
Who gives a fuck about it?
Wait. He says the Godfather is right and undefeated. I gotta really ask the question.
He is defeated. Where is he right now?
There you go. Talking about the
Wait one second. I gotta ask
you just fucked yourself.
I gotta ask a question. I just gotta ask a real question.
Hey, I did a skit about it.
I know you did.
He over there calling the dude the Godfather and so on and so forth. Brothers on the panel who are close to my age. Since when did it get cool for black men to actually hop on niggas' dicks this hard, man? Since when was this acceptable, man?
After y'all start talking about him, I went back and looked at him, right?
Like when black men never rode dicks this hard, man.
I think it's the way
Thank you, Eso. Thank you, Eso.
You give a dude props, you respect whatever you be like, yo, pimp, that's cool. You know what I mean? You do what you do. But these dudes are out
let me watch this. Watch this.
Jordan, dog. We did it to Michael Jackson.
Watch this. And this is the ilk of Kevin Samuels. These are his students. Watch this, everybody. Cox Odia said he can get me right now. Cam up, baby. I'm waiting for you. Cam up. I just dropped the link. Cam up, baby. Let's see what you look like. Let's see what you look like. I'm giving you a chance. I'm a single woman. Come on up here. Let's see what you look like first. Let's take a look at you. And I'll let you kick it for 5 minutes. All right? Come on up. Come on up, Cox. You said you could get me right now. You said you could get me. All right. So I'm not talking to you, Reese. Pipe down. I just dropped the link. Cox, come on up and get me. Let's see what you look like first.
Do it, man.
And if your fucking height starts with the number 5, I'm going to throw this cup through the screen. Let's start there. Okay.
Don't do that.
Let's start there. All right. So come on up. I dropped. You could come on up and talk about your Godfather. I just dropped the link.
Damn, Code Red. You thirsty motherfucker.
He just skated out. He just did the moonwalk.
God damn.
Man, do it.
You know, all these motherfuckers talk about they can get, man, look, listen.
Oh, you said, I was kidding. Oh, here you go.
That's what I'm saying. He moonwalked.
Here you go.
Hey, Jen, if he comes up here and he checks all the boxes, would you date him?
Dude's always never ready for prom time, man.
So he probably understands that it's a waste of time.
Yeah, but he can still prove that he's worthy and valuable. He can still do that.
And when you start taking applications again, if he checked all the boxes, he could be at the top of the pile.
Hello, come get me.
Prime time, man.
Come get me, shit. That sounds like
you don't talk shit. That's why I don't talk shit, man.
Esau's right. He said those men are too busy clapping cheeks. They are. The men that are clapping cheeks aren't talking about women who hit the wall and you left over after 30. They're not doing it. Who would do it?
Yeah, those are the top 5-10% of the men, though, Jen.
Right.
I've met some real foxes in their 40s and 50s. Man.
No,
wait a minute. Wait, George. You said only 5 to 10% of men are clapping cheeks right now?
Well, what I'm talking about is the ones that aren't telling women that, you're not, you hit the wall, don't want you, all that. They have got like 80% of the field to go to, or like, pretty much. They can get any woman they want. It doesn't matter. And they only, by nature, they're only going to take the best of the best that they get.
Esso, no, I think it's the exact opposite of what you're saying. Esso is right. The dudes who get ass ain't complaining about shit.
No,
right.
I'm saying, but the dudes who are saying hit the wall because so you should be more desperate to have me, a man.
Right.
So that's what they're saying.
Yeah,
you should be. You hitting the wall.
Point. I think where that comes in at is there are the women that think their shit don't stink and all that, and they've hit the wall, quote unquote, and they think they're beyond. They think they're still 25 when they've aged out. Like Madonna's a perfect example of that.
Oh shit! But she's rich. But there was a scene in that movie, I Think I Love My Wife with Chris Rock, good movie, where he's with Nikki True was what's her name, the bad chick? She was like with him, and she was like, "You with this dude? Why are you with the, like he gets meets this chick that was like a bad chick," and she was like, "I was at an industry party, and this dude was talking to me, and he saw a younger chick, and he left in the middle of our concert to talk to me." He said, "I realized at that moment that I'm every man, and not every man in this party wants to fuck me," and it fucked with my head. That you realize that some guys you are second choice to some dudes. You get to that point because you're so used to being first choice. That it can hit women hard when they realize, damn, I may not have as many options as I did when I was younger because I'm a little bit older.
That's for everybody, unless your pockets are fat. That's for everybody.
Right.
I will say this, though.
First of all, have you seen these 40 and unders? And have you seen how the 40 and overs are aging these days? My brother and I was talking about that the other day. We was like, damn. Remember our grandmas when we was growing up?
They was old,
Right,
now they're not.
Like they were old women, but like now, the women that were our grandma's age when we were growing up, they're nothing like that. They don't look like, they don't dress like them. My grandmama wasn't twerking, like just things like that, right?
Well, I will say this. I'm sorry.
Well, I was just about to say, so like honestly, like in my experience, when I'm in the room with the younger ones. I haven't felt that. I felt the opposite. Like it's just different. They have a different flair. They're not the young people that we grew up with. And then it's just so different. So like I don't see why anybody over 40 would feel any type of way, especially if they keep themselves up. I don't see how they would feel that they hit.
It's just weird to, I'm like you guys. It doesn't bother me, but it just sounds stupid coming from those type of men. Like if you live your entire existence at a wall, you should never tell any woman on the planet when she hit the wall. If your entire existence is at a wall.
I just want to say something to piggyback off what Dane was saying. That scenario that he was given, I guess that was in a movie or whatever. And, I've had female friends who said, yeah, they don't experience the same degree of privilege that they used to experience when they were younger. However, all of the women who said that to me, those were all white women.
Okay.
all the black women, all the Latino women, they'll be like 50-something.
Right.
You can't tell them chicks they ain't
right.
still the shit. You can't
so let me ask you this. Let me ask y'all this. Let me ask y'all this. Let me ask y'all this.
All the ones that I know.
Me too, Haran. That's what I'm saying.
Damon's like, wait a minute now. I got a white lady in the bed. Don't say all. Here, Damien.
all the black women though, and the Latino women that I talk to, none of them say that shit.
Can I say something? Yeah, no, because we don't think, we really don't listen.
If you
I'm
buy
Latina.
Into it, if you buy into that shit up here, then that will be your reality.
And it seems that's what men want women to do. Like women, I've seen some of them in my comments. Yeah, you 50. No, bitch, I'm 60. Not what we gonna do. Right. And when I'm 60, I'm gonna be like, I'm 70, bitch. Now what you gonna do? Right. They want you to believe these things. But let me ask a question. 55-year-old woman, quote unquote, hit a wall. 55-year-old man, quote unquote, hit a wall. Who has more options?
Whose pockets fatter?
Yeah,
no, just no pockets. None of them, no pockets.
They both broke.
They both broke. 50.
Thank you. The woman is always
Thank you.
That's a misnomer. You know what I mean? You know why? Because women are always.
Wait. Hold on.
Where's this wall?
All right, so thank you. So even if it's a misnomer, then why are men, right? Then how can men fix their face to talk about a woman's wall when a woman will always have more options?
It depends on what the options are for. Options for sex.
For fucking, for whatever, options, just options.
Just options. No, woman is always going to have more options.
Just options.
Except for having children. That's the only
exactly. If a dudes want marriage with children attached to it,
I'm not outside of sitting them down and having a conversation and saying, do you want kids? What do you want? Does your dick work? Before those conversations, you throw a woman in a room full of men, you throw a man in a room full of women, they both hit the wall, they both broke. The woman is going to have more options because a vagina is power. And that's why I'm at.
That is true.
That is true.
And they're all right?
That's real life.
That's why I don't understand this damn wall. It doesn't exist.
But hold on. If the equal, let's make it let's just add a little caveat to that. They're both millionaires. Are they going to have the same access, more option, or the same? Because they're both millionaires. They both have $50 million in the bank. Who are they going to have more? Who's going to have the most amount of options equal, or is it who's going to have who's?
If you put people, let's add another caveat. If you put people, no, I'm going to answer it. But he added a caveat to mine. So
an amendment,
right? So here's the thing. If you put 100 women in that room with that man, and they like money, and you put the same amount of men in the room with that woman and they want money, they both have the same amount of options. You're talking about $6 million.
Okay.
$6 million fucking dollars.
But the thing is, all right, let's go back to reality. Let's bring that back to reality. A woman realistically ain't gonna want to be, or less likely to want to give scholarships to broke ass dudes. And if they do, it'd be for a time. A man will do it. A man be like, if every single one of these 100 women said, you got $1 million, I'll be your chick, he is 100% fine with supply and supporting her fully. A woman is like, okay.
And then there's
somebody close to her level of education or experience or hustle or whatever.
Fucking God. Have y'all been to Turks and Caicos? Have you been around women that are millionaires? They're fucking the trainer consistently, the gardener consistently, the nephew of this one, the son of that one. Women with money, they just don't talk about it.
They just don't post about it. That's it.
When I went to Turks, those women were getting off the flight that I was on in fucking droves, and we were all talking at the bar. And bitches go out there once a fucking month. Because they got the money.
I was listening to an old song today from like the 80s.
So are they like cougars or something?
And
you have to understand when money changes shit. Money changes mentality. When a woman is in that tax bracket, she's like, who got the best dick? That's what I want to know.
Because I know a couple of celebrity women who got a lot of money, and they're like, okay, come on over, give me some dick.
Madonna, Jennifer Lopez, Wendy Williams.
Hold on. But the thing is the one you only relating it down to sexual access, and we're talking about somebody who that's not all they want. Women want commitment more than most women want commitment.
Yeah, but you're mixing.
Don't open your mouth. Just fuck me.
You're mixing two different women, Damien. You're mixing two different women. That's why I'm saying when you include money, that is a different woman. When you include money, that commitment. I want commitment from who? Motherfucker, can you get here at 6 o'clock in the morning because I have a meeting at 8? Hey,
but that's I don't know. I said all I know is what I think I know is that
a regular woman. Yeah, I get it. She's gonna want commitment and someone to let. But come on, look at all the celebrity women.
Because the regular woman is trying to marry up. The woman who has money,
okay.
They
look at all the
typically want to be left alone.
Thank you. Look at all the celebrity women who've ended up with younger guys. They ended up taking care of their fucking asses and marrying them. From Wendy Williams to fucking Jennifer Lopez to Madonna. All of them. They don't want a man. They don't want a man for the same reason a woman who's not wealthy wants a man. Those are two different women.
Oh, God. Okay.
Well,
all right.
That can get a piece of ass like that. There's 10 rich dudes that are getting all the pussy they want. That Jen. You haven't given me a good enough argument to believe that yet.
So what's your argument, George? What you need?
In other words, you're saying like a woman who's very wealthy, she can get any dude she wants. You know, provided I would say she's got the looks to go with it. But men
got that.
Yeah, but men. Yeah.
But here's the thing, men. But here's the thing. Now you're talking about gender reality. First of all, men use their dick with abandon.
Whoa.
Like men use their dick with and a wealthy man is going to be the target of all kinds of women from all walks of life. Now you're talking about nature and fucking gender here.
Yeah.
Hold on, bro. I just gotta talk to Cox for a second. He just said a rich man will fuck a broke woman. Yes. But he said a rich woman wouldn't touch a broke boy.
What?
Bro, listen.
He don't get no women. He don't get no women.
The pool boy is broke as fuck.
Yes.
Yeah, that's that dude.
The chauffeur she's fucking is broke as fuck.
Jen, I could do a show up here for a week.
Listen, Jennifer Lopez. Mira, Jennifer Lopez, Mariah. Jennifer Lopez married two broke guys. Jennifer Hudson.
Like we can go on and on. And
a lot of times,
money changes.
A lot of times, rich women want to marry or get involved with a broke guy
because
he's there.
Nicki Minaj.
Yep, exactly.
Nicki Minaj.
Rihanna.
I mean,
you dudes tell yourselves a lot. A lot of you dudes ain't really getting the pussy that you think you get.
Right.
That you sitting out here
right.
lying.
Dudes dry snitch on themselves.
Hold on. Like I'm a rifle. I don't know about them cats, but I agree what they're saying, and I got a lot of pussy. So it's just like, so I agree that when a woman hits a certain level of success and status, yes, they want playthings that they can play with and use and throw away. But hold on a second, is that the majority or the minority of
the majority?
Women?
Let me tell you,
the majority.
When girl talk with these women, trust me, what they want is come on over. Here's the few coins, little piece of coin, and go. Like, you can't spend the night, no pillow talk.
But you know what's happening here? No, you know what's happening? Let me tell you what's happening. What always happens when we get into these conversations. Let me tell you what's happening. Men in full fucking fledged denial that women don't like fucking and sucking and getting left the fuck alone as much as men. That is what's happening. And I keep telling you over and over again, the only reason that you think this is because because women are reared to close your legs, close your mouth, don't talk about how much you like, don't talk about how much you like dick because it's a no. But I am telling you, be a fly on the wall in any room that I'm in with 4 or 5 of my pretty friends, and we talk worse than you guys do. We talk more worse than you guys do. Listen, we like sex just as much. We like fucking just as much. We like you to get the fuck up and get out, okay? We are fucking sexual beings. We can come more than you. We have more erogenous zones. We have more G-spots. You mean to tell me that a thing that is born like that doesn't like fucking as much as you or more than you? But what happens is y'all are in denial. No, a woman can't possibly want to fuck even if she's rich. And she's rich even more. And let me tell you something. Being attractive is just like a man being fucking rich. I have my pick of the fucking litter, and guess what? A lot of you motherfuckers look good. A lot of y'all look good. Okay? You stop doing that. Stop thinking that women know it. No, it's not. No, women don't.
Hold on. Women are just more discerning when it comes to that. They have all that access, but you said if that was the case, half of them hunchbacks that be in your DMs, you would be hitting the back saying when you coming over.
No, sir. It's apples and oranges.
Let me finish. Because the dude will entertain that hunchback if the mood is right, if they have to, if it's 3 o'clock in the morning or whatever, and nobody that hunchback is coming over. That's what I'm saying. Women are just a lot more discerning when it comes to it, so they don't take advantage of it as much as men do in most cases. I'm not saying hold on. The desire. That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. The desire can be equal, but the actual you don't take advantage as much as men do, because men are less discerning. We will put it anywhere. So yes, of course, they're going to be. That's why in most cases, men have hooked up with more women than women have hooked up with men.
Well, it goes back to what I told George. Is now you're talking about gender, because men use their dicks with abandon. That is what I said a few minutes ago. Men use their dicks with abandon. And when a woman uses her vagina with abandon, what do men do? What do men do? She for the streets. She a hoe. Hold on. If men stopped, let me tell you something. If those words were stricken from their vocabulary, for the streets, hoe, slut, let me tell you something. Women would be out here just as fucking froggy as you would be. But what do women do? I don't want to be called a hoe, even though damn I want to fuck them, but I don't want to be called a hoe. I'm gonna look that kind of funny.
Not no more.
I don't know if I can agree with that, because there is more of a tangible repercussion for women being out there like men.
Give it a few years, Damien.
Hold on.
Give it a few years. Let me tell you something. No,
right. What was I going to say?
Check this out.
Let me finish what I'm saying.
Espérate, coño. Que yo voy a hablar. Ya basta. All right, listen to me. The only thing I want to say, and then I'll pass the mic back to you. Today, 50 Cent posted a girl, very pretty, on his Instagram. You know what she said? She was fucking blowing a bubble gun. And she was like, look at this. I grew up on welfare and food stamps and blah, blah. And look at me now, living in this lavish house with a baby. Damn, it's good to... That is the future. That is the new woman. These motherfuckers are worried about the modern woman. The one that's coming after that modern woman they complaining about is 10 times fucking worse. These women are not caring anymore. That's the woman that's coming up. So give it 50 years, Damien, and watch how women are talking in 50 years. Go ahead.
All I'm saying is this. It wasn't pair bonding, Lily. I was going to bring that bullshit into it.
That's Glenn.
That's what happens when I get 2 words out and then you jump down my fucking neck.
That's Glenn.
I'm cursing you out for what you're about to say.
Exactly. All right. So what I was saying was the reason, even if women have the desire to do it, functionally, they wouldn't be able to do it, because there's a tangible result of them doing that. Because if woman is out in the game,
what's the tangible result? What happens?
Right, you get pregnant, and then if you no, that too, and then you get pregnant, and if you decide to, if you don't, for some reason, you say, you know what, I don't believe in abortion or getting rid of it, you are out of the game for 9 months. A man ain't the case. They can do blah 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 blah. They can keep it going. They have no reason to stop in most cases. There's nothing biological keeping them from stopping. Once you are out of the fucking game for a while, and then you get
Okay,
pregnant
and you
again.
think
You're out
these
of the
new
game.
you think these new girls aren't taking precautions? You think these new girls ain't taking precautions now, not getting caught up with your fucking dry ass baby for 9 months? You
But
really think these girls are not taking precautions?
if that's the case, then why are they complaining about men leaving them with
What is it?
babies?
That's a certain demographic. I'm talking about the new woman that's coming up now. She is smarter, she is more slick, and she don't give a fuck what a man got to say about it for the streets or for a whole another. Look at that girl on 50 Cent's page. That is the future. That is the future. And you know what? I'm fucking proud of them. I'm proud of these young girls. I'm fucking get yours.
I get it. What you call it? I'm with you there. I think dudes who slut shame women are usually doing it because they wouldn't fuck them. I get that.
Of course.
You know,
Of course.
anybody who calls somebody a hoe is usually mad that they didn't get it. The dudes who actually got it keep their mouth shut.
Of course.
You know, so I get that. I get that. But I'm just saying, it's just like, I don't know, because biologically, I don't think women have the desire, but aren't physically able to be big as hoes as men.
Yes,
can
they
be. Even
are.
if they want to.
Yes, they are. You
like
ain't never seen. What you mean biologically? Women want it. Women want to fuck. You ain't never seen a porn where how many was it? Like 1,500 men fucked one woman. Like, women are biologically just fine to fuck around. Stop calling them. If y'all ain't scared, and I'm not talking about the guys on the panel.
Whoa.
I'm talking about general men in general. Like, stop slut shaming women and watch how they act just like you. Dare you.
Listen. I keep telling y'all, we all here because somebody was hoeing in your family tree.
Right.
You could kick your family tree, a good 5 hoes gonna fall out.
Right.
And it is what it is, man. It is what it is.
Right.
What they say, if you got the same name as your mama and not your daddy, your mama was a side chick.
Oh shit! Well, I got the same name as my daddy.
I'm about to say I do. I got my. We good over here.
Shit, damn it! Y'all go leave these young women alone. Listen, I'm proud of them. They be surprising me now the way they
do
talk.
surprise me.
Oh
Like,
shit!
They different.
Look at the girl that 50 Cent posted. She chilling with her little bubble gun. She was like, "Yep, this is life now." And she was like, "Look, I got all of this because I was a hoe."
Right.
They do not care. And you know what's another thing that's giving them power? That no matter how many times you call them a hoe, if they find somebody else of value is in line to get them.
Right.
That's the thing. That is not the ducks. It's not the ducks in line to get them. It's the dudes of value. 50 Cent posted her. Can you imagine what her DMs look like? And she's a quote unquote hoe. These women do not care anymore.
They don't.
But when 50 Cent's done with her, she gonna have to go on to the next.
Got
and then
a girl.
But I know he's that Cuban
but you
chick.
don't understand.
She's bad.
See, this is the problem. I think, like Jen said earlier, and I've been saying this for a long time, I think men don't fully grasp that some women don't give a fuck about your ring, about your commitment, about I think where
they have to know it.
But that's like the minority of women. I think that's like a small amount.
No. Have you seen? No.
You don't see the marriage rate across the board in the world going down. You don't see that? Like, you don't see the childbirth rate going down across the board, across the world, because people are saying, right. I don't want to, I'm not falling for this. Like, I'm looking and the shit wasn't working for you, mom. Wasn't working for you, grandma. Wasn't working too well for you, auntie. You know what? I'm about to do something different. Fuck all
you got a point. I give you that. Yeah.
But that's why I said, that's also why I told Damien, I said, come back in 50 years. The marriage rate down. People having kids down. People committing down. Everybody's talking polyamory. It's going to be a whole different, the woman in 50 years that's running around, the 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, 40s, they're going to be unrecognizable. So when a man still says, well, you know, she's not going to do it because after 50's done with her, then what? Then Future? Then Drake?
Yeah. Just like that. And that
like, oh my God, oh, poor woman. She's going to jump from millionaire to millionaire to millionaire. These girls are getting more attractive. The BBLs are fucking getting crazier and crazier. These girls are making their own money fast online. They're monetizing social media. So it's a perfect situation for them to live the way men have always been.
And that's why dudes are leaving.
Right.
Because
they're going to have to.
They're going to have to.
Because the playing field is different. Because it's like the only thing you needed to have prior to that was finances. You know what I mean? You need to just have finances, a couple other things. But now things are just changing, and it's to this point where it's just like,
I don't understand
look, a
why
lot
dudes
of a lot of
want to
dudes,
stay here.
one second, Reese. A lot of dudes at the end of the day, it is what it is. A lot of dudes, if you take away any kind of financial leverage away from them, they really have nothing else to offer.
Yo, I don't understand why dudes wouldn't want to stay here and take advantage of the hookup culture here.
I mean,
it's a better life for a single man.
Because but a lot of the guys are, this is why, because a lot of the guys are socially awkward, or they don't want to work on themselves. They don't want to work on, you know what I mean, their guts and they don't, so it's easier.
Listen, Jen can attest to this. I showed her this shit about 2 days ago. Nice looking woman that I used to, deal with or whatever. Climbed up in my DMs asking me for $50. This is real. She climbed up in my DMs.
I told her, Ron, at least it wasn't $40.
Right. I told her,
No, wait a minute. Let me finish telling y'all the story. Like I was like, yo, you know what I mean? Like, okay, but don't you got a man? And she was like, yeah, but we broke up. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, damn, you should have asked him $50 before you broke up. Or maybe that's the reason why y'all broke up. But also, I didn't tell her this though. But in my mind, I was like, but you see, sweetie, I tried to get you on the team before, and I told you I was poly, and you didn't agree to it. Now, if you agreed to it, you wouldn't need $50. You know what I mean? So sometimes you're trying to save these girls from themselves. It doesn't really necessarily work out that way. But anyway, y'all go ahead with that.
It is though, Don. But it is though. Here's the thing: doing the hookup culture thing in your 40s isn't cool though. Yes, it is. If that's what you want to do,
that shit is awesome.
If that's what you want to do, it's fucking very cool. It is very fucking cool.
Your kids are gone. It's the best time of life.
It's the best time to fucking do the hookup culture. You got money.
Better than my 20s.
Listen.
You got money. You got your freedom. Shit.
You done built your skills up too?
Hello.
Come on, man.
And the person already got his own house, his own shit. Like, it's the best. 40 hookup culture. Shit. You gonna stop that lying.
Life changes when you can roll up in the Benz.
No, Black Republican. They're not traditional feminine women. The majority of them are destitute. The majority of them are prostitutes. That's the culture for you passport people. Knock it off. Knock it off.
That's what they tell themselves.
Knock it off.
Like, no,
they're traditionally feminine. They're traditionally fucking destitute, is what they are, sir.
I tell you one thing, though, if you know how to treat a woman a particular way, she's gonna be traditional as fuck, butt naked in your goddamn kitchen, cooking you eggs if you know what the fuck you doing in real life, nigga. So once you concentrate on that, you can get a woman acting.
Damien is done with us.
Nah, I'm just trying. Can y'all hear me? Okay.
You can
because I had to switch my headphones set on. This one's all right.
Yeah, you can get any woman damn near acting real traditional if you know what you're doing.
You got that right.
And Ron, what you got that right. If you really that nigga and your setup is tight, 9 out of 10 women that come over your crib gonna jump into that role automatically.
Man,
exactly.
Without
you even saying nothing.
Man, listen.
Period.
And she over there and she'll be making $200,000 a year in the whole 9 yards.
They'll start showing off.
They'll start
showing off.
I want to answer this because this is an interesting question. Cox Odia says, who would you say is winning, Diddy or Carisha? Carisha, but I say Carisha, you know why? Because she's coming up from being with him. Diddy is a mogul. He doesn't need her. So who's coming up who's it benefiting more? It's benefiting her.
Yeah.
It ain't benefiting him. What is he? He's Diddy. After her, right. He's gonna so I would say she's winning.
Yeah, you're right.
Got his freedom though.
I was thinking more so they're both getting what they want. Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But winning more, yes, Carisha. Yeah.
Because I don't think he likes that girl. I don't think he's into that girl.
I don't think so either.
They have no chemistry.
No, yeah.
It's worn off. It's the cool. What he was interested in when he, like I said, he liked that she reminded of the girls from around the way, and he was missing that around the way connection to the hood. I think he's.
And then the whole time he's with her, he's pictured kissing this girl on this weekend, and then he's pictured. had a baby. That's a different girl from the girl he was kissing on.
And their photo shoots look so contrived.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to
so
saying they are both getting what they want out of the deal, and I'm gonna leave it at that for this night in this conversation.
Like he'll get talked about in the blogs, but she gets to be on yachts and she's getting money and jewelry, and so she's, you know, how long is City Girls gonna last? I don't know. I don't know any other music, so I don't know.
I love City Girls. I used to couldn't stand them, and then like I don't know, I fell into their music, and I was like, I'm on my City Girls bag, like when I want to get turned up and amped or whatever, I get in my City Girls bag. Like I don't agree with half the shit they say, but I'm just into it just because the beats.
And then, again, this is something similar to what Damien said. Smashed and moved on. So did she. Why do you keep thinking that a smashed and moved on belongs to a man?
That's so
Are you talking
weird
about Diddy? Well, she was on her show talking about we go together, and he was like, "Oh, we go together."
Listen,
but I'm like, but smashed. What makes she's young? She's a baby. She's a baby.
But you don't
so she smashed and moved on.
Yeah, but the act that Carisha put on,
by her choice.
She lays it on so thick. Like she don't want that man.
So you really think so okay, riddle me this, Batman's once again. Carisha in her 20s, right? In her 20s? 20s?
Yeah.
In her 20s. In her 20s, banging body, okay? Famous, got her own career, right? Mm-hmm. You really think not fucking old ass Diddy and them long hanging balls is a loss for her? You don't think that after she's done with Diddy, there's going to be a plethora of 20, 30, 40 something year old rappers, people like Drake. Okay.
Drake ain't messing with her.
People like, are you kidding me?
Hold on.
What?
Here we go.
What?
Here we go with the fucking.
You must not know Drake. You must not know Drake.
Hold on.
You must not know Drake. Anyway, back to my point. Wait, before you jump in.
Serena Williams not being the best looking, and that was one of his. He knocked up a raggedy looking stripper. Like, come on now. That will be like the better of what we've seen him with in a long time.
Have you seen Chris Brown's baby mamas? So let's not.
Kind of raggedy.
Okay, so have you seen Chris Brown's last baby mama? I'm like, shit, we all had a shot. So look, let me just say this. When you look at Carisha is not a waitress. She is in the industry. Every party she goes to is nothing but fucking ballers. You really think that she's going to stop sucking on it? I guarantee he has gray hairs on his nuts right now. Diddy does. You really think that?
Gray hair on the nuts.
But listen, you really think when you say, I fucking hate him. When you say, not by her choice, you think it's gonna, if Diddy says, I don't want to see you anymore, Carisha's gonna be hurting?
Yeah. Hold on.
Nah, I mean, she's a woman. First of all,
I think number one, she's gonna play it off that it doesn't bother her. Of course she's gonna do it. She's gonna do that shit. Like
she's gonna be emotional.
But you don't get on national TV and say, we go together. It's like, you know what? I'm tired of people saying we go together.
But she's playing the game. She's playing the game. I would say that shit too, even if I didn't want that motherfucker. She's playing the game. Because after she says, no, sir.
We was watching that. Me and my bestie was laughing our ass off because we knew exactly what she was. We knew exactly what the fuck she was doing. She don't want him. He don't want her.
At all.
But they're both getting what they want out of the deal. I'm being very clear about that.
Especially in that business that it's a revolving door. Every party she goes to is nothing but fucking baller. She's probably already better dealed him.
I'm willing to bet.
She's probably already better dealed him.
Let's make a $50 cash app bet.
Okay.
That if the next dude we'll find the next dude she with, he is just an ordinary Mo. He's an ordinary like rapper, maybe up and coming rapper. There ain't gonna be nobody we ever heard of.
Once she get her money, once she get her bag,
no, she get her money now.
It goes to what we were saying earlier. Once the woman,
we're talking about right after Diddy. Jenny's saying right after Diddy, she's gonna probably go to like a Drake or something like that.
After Diddy, it's gonna be a celebrity. It's not gonna be a regular guy. Not Carisha. not Carisha.
All right. I'll make that bet with you. I'm willing to bet it's gonna be like
if we were talking about somebody else, maybe, but she knows
it's gonna be her too that nobody heard of.
She's playing her cards right now.
Somebody rapper who she probably messed with when she was 16 is gonna be her dude. I'm willing to bet.
Her stock has gone up, and I see what she's doing.
Right.
Bet money.
I respect what both of them are doing because they both get what they want out of the situation. Both parties they're in cahoots. Even with the drama that they spill and that spills into the public by accident, all of that is contrived. They're both getting everything that they want out of the deal. Congratulations to them both. But once that contract is up, because she even said it was a contract. She said it. So once that contract is up, then she'll be on to the next. She's got her stock up, and I'm not mad at her.
Like I said, Silky Smooth E. It's gonna be her dude.
From Cleveland,
Deuce Mac is gonna be her new man.
She's gonna.
Nobody none of us heard of.
Contract is up.
No, not Carisha. Don Levon said
maybe she'll get a second string NFL player. Maybe.
Don Levon says she will not get another man with Diddy's status. She's gonna get she's gonna get somebody better. Diddy is washed. He's washed. I don't even know how y'all say he's washed to me.
She's gonna get a nigga who's gonna blow his ACL out next year.
Seriously, she's gonna get a third string tight end or Silky E Smooth is gonna be her dude.
No, she's gonna get somebody much younger than Diddy, okay? And he's gonna be somebody in the industry.
Bad Bunny. Right.
With that kind of money, with that kind of brand.
She's gonna be the same Amber Rose. Kanye, highest she ever get, then she went to Wiz Khalifa.
Wait a minute, you're talking about Amber Rose was a stripper from Philly who dated rappers. Carisha has a rap career in this shit.
But
there's a difference.
She was like a scammer who rapped. So
still a rapper, still on the radio, still a rapper.
Okay. Wait for Silky Smooth E. That's gonna be her dude.
She's gonna get passed
man. After
no.
She's gonna get passed around. Watch.
And then she gonna.
Diddy's getting passed around.
Like,
so that's what
come on the Triple Turkey Takeoffs, and she's gonna be on that boat.
I don't like that. Like what saying that she's gonna get passed around. Diddy's getting passed around. Why is it always the woman that's getting passed around? The man gets passed around too.
Remember, the man controls the relationship. She controls the bedroom.
Then Jen said Diddy is out of the game. It's over for him.
I said he's washed up to me. I wouldn't date Diddy. I wouldn't date Diddy, not even when he was in his prime. I don't like his personality.
No.
Respect the hustle. I respect the hustle. I respect what he's achieved, but I could not sit across a fucking table from that man. I could not do it. I don't like his energy.
Very dark.
Very dark energy. I wouldn't do it. So I'm not saying that. Of course, he can get whoever. He's a rich man. A frog could get women if he got money. But I wouldn't fuck with him. I wouldn't even fuck with a Drake. These dudes have certain vibes and auras that are not attractive beyond their money.
And the money ain't even enough for those.
Exactly, because I've been there, done that. No, I don't like their aura. I don't like the entourage. I don't like the women that are. It's a very dark industry. Oh, and Tristan must know them.
I always I'm in the industry, but I'm not of the industry. Like I dip in, do what I gotta do, and get the hell on out. Because, like Jen said, it's not what people think it is.
It's not. It's like, what? But Carisha, she's young. She's from she's from the hood. She's a rapper. She's gonna be okay. She's gonna end up with another fucking rapper, or either a producer, either a music producer, or another rapper,
an executive, or something.
I'm telling you. Slick Dude E is gonna be her man. Yeah, somebody you never heard of.
Amber didn't even have a career, and everybody that she dated had a name, and she's not even a fucking rapper. She was just hanging out.
Or Black China, or like these girls, they pull them from the strip club, and now we all know them and still talking about them in 2023. So that's a come up.
Yeah, he said Jim Jones. Yeah, retarded.
No more. She might be. You might be hit the wall. That might be the wall.
Amber Rose just said recently, "Whose ass I got to lick for Super Bowl tickets?" What are you talking about?
Damn, she said that.
What are you talking about?
What man would go near her? Yo, that's crazy.
Remember this name when you talk about Carisha. Remember this name. Southside.
Can you hear me?
Southside.
Who?
Southside. Exactly.
Who's that?
Southside. That was the dude she was with before Diddy. I'm willing to bet you gonna spot them kicking it again.
I still think they kicking it. If you ask me, this is y'all keep thinking this is a real relationship. Stop.
Y'all guys want to know something?
Drake or no baller. She's gonna get somebody you never heard of.
Said, okay.
Y'all somebody new here.
Tristan. Tristan.
Oh,
wait a minute. Before we close, do the white people want to say anything?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
We can hear you fine, Tristan.
Hold on. Oh, y'all want to know where I'm at?
Where are you, Tristan?
Library?
No, I'm looking for Kevin Samuels. I'm in heaven right now.
wrong location. Go down a few floors.
Yeah,
Look at Tristan.
Damn, where he at?
The cellar underneath the basement.
Damn,
We've never seen Tristan. Look at Tristan. We've never seen Tristan.
I've been looking for this man. I've been looking for this man all night. Oh my God.
Tristan's debut.
Well, y'all passed the background checks.
Oh, good.
Good.
They didn't say
Don
Levon. They didn't say you was on the block with Jen cutting up. No shit. We did a shoot last year. It was like a bunch of us or whatever. And right before the shoot, they came back and was like, your cut. They just found something on your Facebook. Bye.
Listen. Let me address these two really quickly so we can get the hell about it. Don Levon said you would love his money. We've been around men with money. We've been around men with lots of money, lots of money. That's not a big deal. Also, who said this? Somebody said something. Brittany Renner hit the wall. Brittany Renner didn't hit the wall. You know why? Because of how fucking loose men with money are with their dicks. That's why Brittany Renner will never hit the wall in her circles, because how loose men with money are with their dicks. She may have hit the wall in your environment because you can't afford her, but trust me, in her environment, there's always going to be some athlete, some rapper, somebody who wants to get down with Brittany Renner.
She want to get married. She claiming.
Yeah, because people are going to talk about it if she says that.
You think anybody a wifer?
Yeah, but let me tell you something. I'm gonna say this, I love my guys. I love my guys. But y'all the most fucking naive, innocent, little no. She said blah blah blah. You know how women go fucking manipulate and play the fucking cards. Brittany Renner is gonna say whatever is gonna get her in the blogs. What Brittany Renner really means is what she's telling her friends off air, and away from cameras. That's what she really means. But she's going to say whatever she got to say, just like the Kardashians and every other chick that's in the media. They're going to say whatever they got to say to end up in the blog. So now,
and it might be the truth.
Brittany Renner, and 99% probably is not, right? Because she knows if she says that in public, right? Everybody's going to talk about, that hoe won't get married now. That hoe gonna, and y'all going to keep helping her get paid. Y'all are so easy.
Right. It's
easy.
Listen, Brittany,
so what y'all saying?
Brittany Renner is
bitches be lying.
Yes.
So don't trust
all the time.
So men out there didn't tell you don't trust these hoes.
Don't. I mean, you don't.
I'm just Brittany Renner is going to get married, man. If y'all niggas can fuck duck-looking baby mamas, you know what I mean, with abandon, Brittany Renner can sit here and go find a husband. Okay?
Superhead got married twice, and she's pregnant right now.
This is the problem that I have with a lot of you brothers, man. A lot of you brothers try to sit here and act like you got a ton of options yourself. Nigga, you gonna get whatever the fuck you gonna get to. Stop sitting there and fronting like that. You know what I mean? You're not Kevin Samuels, you're not Andrew Tate. Those particular individuals, they could have they had options. You know what I mean? The average dude, y'all making 40 grand a year. You don't have options, dog.
See, and he believes it. Listen, no, and he believes this, and this is why. Hold on. This is why these women. Hold on, Tristan. This is why these women say it. You see, Brittany Renner is begging for a relationship with men. They believe it. Brittany is about the bag. Yes. Brittany is about the bag, and she knows y'all are easy. All she got to do is say a sentence, and y'all gonna run with it. You heard that hoe? You heard that hoe? Let's type about it. Let's do a 5-hour stream and say her name to keep it in the algorithm. Y'all are fucking easy. Y'all always been easy. That's why you always get had. Okay,
And
but you don't want to listen to your big sis. You don't want to listen to your big sis.
Well, no, Haran broke it down too.
You don't want to listen to the godmother.
Right. We played the clip and we broke it down. Like every little bit of what she was saying, we knew what she was doing. Me, Jen Haran was like, "Oh, she was good at it." Now let's give her credit. Now she was very good. If you are naive and if you don't know better, I can see how they can fall forward. But we went
like I said. Like I said.
Thank you.
I knew you was gonna put that one up. Like this dude's
when it was three brothers on the panel. That Freaky Friday was me, that other young dude, and Dame. When we was talking about living your life as a side dude, we all sat there and said we saw women with a straight face lie to their fucking dudes. Lie to their fucking dudes. And their dudes, they sopped it up in their mind like, yeah, my girl ain't doing that. My girl would never do that. He's like, no, nigga, your girl, your mama, you know what I mean?
Your grandmama.
I
promise one day.
Probably with the same dude.
I promise one day I'm gonna do it for y'all. I am going to fucking record me and like 3 or 4 of my girls talking about men and dating and all of that, because you guys are under the impression that women are something that I don't even know where y'all get these ideas from. But for anyone to believe that Brittany Renner is online telling the world that she wants a husband because that's really what she wants, y'all are fucking crazy.
It's
y'all
a
are crazy.
She set up her next bag.
She has to stay in the blogs. She has to stay in the blogs.
To me like I'm a 7-year-old because sometimes I act crazy and act immature.
I mean,
how is that going to accomplish that though? How is saying to the
we're talking about her now? She's
no. She could say I don't want a man. I want to just do whatever I'm gonna do, and we still be talking about it because of the dude she's been with, not necessarily where she's going. We talk about it because where she's been.
So you want me to answer your question? I can answer your question.
Because think about this. Brittany Renner says, "I want a husband." Okay. Then everyone's going to blah, 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 blah. Boom. Pops up next year, engaged to some man like Kenya Moore. She could just grab some man and get engaged. Oh, now she has an engagement special. Now she has a wedding special. Now she can do a TV show where Who Wants to Marry Brittany Renner? You know, like she's setting up her next fucking bag. It's very
so let me explain this, right? Because I don't think people understanding and I know it's entertaining, but here's how it works for her, right? The more she talks, right, whether she's saying good or bad things, the more people talk about her, the Shade Room, Hollywood Unlocked, et cetera, et cetera. That brings more people to her page. I guarantee all her social media is monetized, all of it, her YouTube, her Instagram, her TikTok. I guarantee it, right? So yes, she would get married and get engaged to get in the blocks. That is the new hustle. The Kardashians perfected it. And all these women that are online dating athletes and what have you, they are chasing that Kardashian bag. The Kardashians spun dudes in and out to stay in it's the fucking Kris Jenner fucking motto. It's the business model. Stay in the motherfucking blogs at all cost by any means necessary. Say you want to get married this month, then change your mind the next month. Say that you're going to be gay next month because you gave up on men. Then the next month after that, say that you found somebody. Then the next month after that, say you think you're pregnant and hold up a pregnancy test. And all the blogs are going to talk about it. This is the new hustle and it fucking pays. And she knows people are simple and they're going to talk about it. So now, I mean, people actually believe it. Oh, you heard Brittany Renner want to get married now? Hollywood Unlocked, Gossip, Media Takeout. Everybody's talking about it. It's the easiest job in the world. It is the easiest job in the world. And a lot of these women are doing it. And all she got to do is twerk a little bit. And then y'all going to look at her to see her ass.
Yep. And she gets more money.
If there's 3 things a woman know how to do, tell a motherfucker what he want to hear, spend some money, and waste his motherfucking time. So, you know what I mean? I feel attacked. I tell that to these young boys all the time. A chick know how to do 3 things better than a motherfucker. You know what I mean?
I
And
feel
that is
attacked.
what it is.
Like, yeah. Listen, y'all fall for it. Hook. It's. I'm telling you, it's the Kris Jenner bit. Stay in the fucking blogs. Say what the fuck you gotta stay in the blogs, because if you be quiet,
need to fall for it because she ain't getting no money out of me for nothing.
but she doesn't have to. She doesn't have to. All you got to do is talk about her. That's money. That's it. All you got to do is talk about her.
He's getting money out of us.
Chicks were living like that before the internet. Chicks were doing that before the internet.
Right.
Yeah, they just have
old school. It's just that the play has changed because the terrain has changed. This is the new terrain. The cell phone, like even down to the host roll. You don't see women on the corner. Yeah, they're here. This is the new terrain. Like everything is on this terrain. You know?
Dead. On the blade.
Not to mention all this shit is connected, right? So we just said her name a couple times. I guarantee we all log off, the bitch will be popping up in our algorithm. That's how it works. It's all connected. So as long as she can get people to say her name, the Kardashians do it. The Kardashians will do something like this. Like Kim Kardashian will say that her ass is real. Don't we all know it's not real? We all know it's not real. But what happens is she says that, right? She guarantees it's real. Then she has 500 people in her comments arguing about whether her ass is real or not. That's the Kris Jenner business model. Doesn't matter if her ass is fake and she's saying it's real. We're going to argue about it 500 comments strong in her fucking on her Instagram. That's the new hustle. That's the new hustle. I could do that shit tomorrow. I could say, you know what? I admit to you guys were right. I looked at Kevin Samuels' videos for a couple hours. I understand everything he said. I agree that I hit the wall, and women are 35 and over are leftovers. And I'm here to teach women not to be leftovers. You know how many motherfuckers will be doing reaction videos about it? It's all a fucking game. It's a game. Yo, you seen her on the block with Jen? You seen her on the block with Jen talking about the Godfather was right? You see her say that? Y'all are easy.
Easy.
I could sit here with a fucking Kevin Samuels t-shirt. You think nobody's going to repost it? Y'all are easy. Easy pickings. Oh, y'all lucky I ain't a grimy hoe.
It's the same thing Andrew Tate did with the men.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the breakdown was like that. He knew that men were easy. So he played on their traumas. He played on their insecurities. He knew if he said the wildest shit that they was going to reach.
People are easy. Don't just say men. People are easy. Because Derek Jackson got hella y'all women just fun.
No, but men, the problem with men is that they have too much ego to think that they can't get got. And women are lying in your face. With a smile.
Well, then how come? Then what do women have that allowed Derek Jackson to feed off of there? Was it insecurity?
Say again.
What? Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
I said, what do women have that's comparable to ego that allows a Derek Jackson to feed off of them and make money and monetize their shit?
Because women are, we're more emotional. We want to be cared for. We want to feel like someone's paying attention to us, right? And that's the majority of his fucking Derek Jackson's fucking following is like he's talking to them, he's caring for them, he's caring about their hopes, their dreams, and desires. And so he's fucking them in the ass too while he's in the gym pumping iron. And he wouldn't fuck with none of them.
Right. I think it's a little bit bigger than that. I think women just got hope.
That
hope shit will have them engaged for like 20 years.
That's right. Because why are they in relationships for 5 years, 7 years, and still haven't got married? I mean, it's kind of like, it takes the dude that long to decide if he wants to be with you. It's probably like, that should be like a clue. He doesn't want to.
Women, the way people get married now is financial. A lot of dudes don't want to get married till their pet bag is right.
Women are hopeful and men are impatient.
Yeah. And women, and let's face it, like I said before.
Yes.
Let's face it. Women want to get married because they were told that they're supposed to be married. Okay. And they say men control marriage, women control divorce, bitch. That's why they leave 75 to 80% of the time. They want to get married because their whole lives they've been told since the little girls, you need to get married. So a man has to want you. And as soon as a woman is in that shit, she wants out. So yeah, men control marriage, women control divorce though.
And
women control divorce.
Weddings more than they want marriage.
Fuck yeah.
That's
I agree with
women
you
want
there.
security.
Fuck yeah.
They see marriage as a way of ensuring security for the most part.
They want rings and they want marriage and they like the idea.
So why do they leave, Dame?
Because the men start providing that security in one form or another, whether it's emotional, whether it's financial, whether it's they stop providing security, and the women's like, I'm not going to waste my time with you because I know I can probably find somebody who will provide me the security I'm looking for.
True. That is the truth.
And that's what I'm saying. They like the idea of marriage, this storybook and blah blah blah, but neither.
So why do most women who divorce don't remarry then?
I mean, I'm sure some of them would like to, but then if the situation is bad enough, it could have jaded them to where they think it's not going to happen because of men the men nowadays aren't into providing security. So maybe they get jaded and just say, I don't think the men are the way they were, or they could just be like, you know what, I tried it. I'm even giving you this much. They may say, I'm gonna go provide my own security.
I think women are less hopeful the older they get. I think they start acting. You know what's really funny? Women are like, they start acting more like men the older they get. You know what I mean? If they're not, in a relationship and shit like that. And I find, me personally, it's easier to deal with older women because it can be just a smash and dash, boom, boom. Everybody just go about their fucking business. Rather than, but the younger the women become, it's more. They're more into the idea of a relationship and the thing, and
so security doesn't just mean money. So we're not just talking about money. It didn't be. It's just not money.
Well, I disagree with you, Dame, of why women.
Yeah, me too.
Get divorced, because even when you look at the stats of the reason for divorce, it doesn't say because women want security and men stop providing it. Those aren't the reasons.
I don't mean money. I mean they provide the thing that the security. Also. If you're not making them feel the security that they're securing, that you find it attractive.
Women get divorced for the littlest. I mean, motherfucker grew a gut. They turned off. That women get divorced for any little thing. I don't like your mother. I don't like your mother. It's too much beef. I don't need you. At the end of the day,
because women are quitters.
Hold a second. So right now,
you're right. He's right.
Wait 1 minute. I have to come in here and say this shit, and I have to come on Dame's side right now. He's absolutely correct, because security can come in many different forms, shapes, and forms. Jen, you have said this 1,001 times.
I didn't say money though. I didn't say money. He keeps going to money. I didn't say money.
No. He didn't say just money. He said it can be in many forms. It can be emotional. It can be money. It can be other things.
Then don't use the word security. Then don't use the word security. You can use attention. Don't use security.
Well, if you're not getting attention, you're going to get to some degree insecure.
Yeah.
If you're not getting the kind of attention that you want, Jen, if you're not going to get the kind of excitement and sex and life that keeps you engaged, you're going to be insecure. And you have sat here a number of times and you have said that after you literally are into a dude based on a quarterly basis. It's literally a leasing agreement. Every 3 months, you're looking over the situation and saying, okay, am I getting the excitement that I want? Am I getting this? Am I getting that? If I'm not, I'm out of here. If it is, okay, we're going to go for another 3 months and we'll see what happens. You have said this a number of times, have you not, ma'am?
Hold on, because I'm looking something up right now. I'm about to shut both of you down, all the way down.
And I was saying basically that the women love the idea of the storybook Prince Charming, shit that they see on Facebook, the highlight reels that they see on people's timeline. And when they get into the reality of it, they're like, I want this shit. And it's a lot of work. Like, it's a lot of fucking work. Then they realize, is the work worth the man? Like, is the, that's what.
That is why women divorce.
That's it.
That is why. Because they want the wedding, they want the ring, they want the party, they want to be married like their girlfriends and like their mama told them to do. Then they realize, like I said here before, a myriad of times, it comes with a whole husband. And then they realize you're not worth it. I don't want to take care of you. I'm over the party. I'm over showing off the ring. Now I don't give a fuck who knows who I'm. Now I don't give a fuck who knows that I'm divorced. I want to get away from you.
So for shallow reasons.
Yes, that's why I agree. Yes, that's why I agreed with No Saint, because I will agree with this. Jordan Peterson said the reason why women file so often. I was like, I agree with you, crazy white man. He said the reason why women file the most is because women, basically quitters, are the first ones to feel unhappy and the first ones to leave because they're unhappy. That's quitting. That's like, you don't make me happy, I'm leaving.
I won't push back necessarily, but I will say this. If the laws were made to where the men wouldn't have to take such a haircut, women aren't worth it either when it comes down to it. I'm not saying all women, obviously, but I'm saying it's the same thing.
I don't put
Wait a minute, not worth what? Not worth marrying or divorcing?
No, I'm saying like you're talking about women are the first ones to eject. I say if it was even playing field and both had exactly the same amount to lose, men would be ejected too, because there's times where you sit there.
Because
I disagree.
Men get more complacent and lazy the older they get. They don't want to be back in that market.
Right.
Yep.
All of my male
but what I'm saying is
they're fucked up.
Yeah.
They are really messed up. The wife is like, woo, got rid of that headache.
Yeah.
I'm
talking from cheat before they carry that out though. Most of them cheat.
Yeah, but you know what I mean, for guys, it's a bigger headache for guys, because it's like if you've been out the game for a minute, been out the game for a minute, you got to jump back in it. You got to get your mojo back.
Dame's neighbor Tony has been married for probably 25 years. His wife gained weight after the first baby.
Are you talking about the one in the gated community, Tony?
Yeah. Okay. My friend Tony. Oh, shush. Hold on. This dog's not. So what I'm saying is this dog don't like what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that he's been married his whole relationship, and he stayed. Why? Because he was going to lose a lot. He would have been gone a long time ago. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying there are people like that if it were even, if things were even, and both go like if he didn't, he would have been gone.
I want to add to that. Hold up, y'all. Listen, I'm a barber and a bartender. I talk to thousands of men. I feel like I know every man on this planet, for real. If I had $1 for every time one of these dudes said, man, I get the fuck out of here, man, before I kill this bitch. But I got to stay for the kids. I could retire on this show.
It's like, no.
It's trust me, it's 50-50.
Just like Chris Rock said, dudes say that shit, and when they say, I ain't going nowhere.
They ain't.
Like,
and that's what I was just about to say.
I hear that a lot.
We sit there, men will sit there and look at all the chicks they on social media or walking by like, man, if I was single, I'd be smashing her. No, I mean that they would not be smashing her. They wouldn't even go. They're too lazy to go approach that.
Right.
It's get complacent with age, especially if they're comfortable. If you
so my little no, Jordan Peterson is off. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Don't nobody cry that much who's completely sane. Stop it. Lack of communication, 73%. Divorce, 73% of the reason people divorce is lack of communication. And second, that's what the stat said. And 56%. And 56% was argue too much. 73% lack of communication, 56% argue too much.
Okay, well, lack of communication, that could be anything.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I mean, that could literally be anything.
I'm going to stick with my point that all of that are just branches off the tree of insecurity, of lack of not being secure. If you're not talking to her, she doesn't know where your head is. She doesn't know where you are. She doesn't know how you feel about her. She knows she doesn't feel like you guys are on the same page. That will make a woman insecure.
I disagree. Men, I disagree. Women just get sick of y'all. Listen, women get sick of y'all. Y'all get complacent too fucking fast. Men get complacent
Now,
too fucking fast. You want to fuck the same. You want to go to the same restaurants over and over. Y'all get boring and you don't want to hear that. But I keep saying 50 Shades of Grey is $1 billion industry because even married women, single women, young women, old women, married women, divorced women want a Christian Grey in their life because y'all are boring. You want to eat the same. Let's go to the Cracker Barrel. Let's go to Chili's. Let's go to Chili's. You want to go to Chili's again? Let me climb on top of you and give you my best 15 minutes. Y'all are fucking boring. Y'all are boring.
Okay, one second.
Are you wearing boxers or briefs? When's the last time you went out and bought some sexy fucking boxer briefs, some Calvin fucking Kleins? Y'all are fucking boring.
Hold up.
Men on the panel. These are the bars that the other guy hears. These are the bars.
That's the truth. That's the
truth. Hold up.
Period.
Men do this the exact same way. Do you think women are always, every married woman is out there looking her best? Them women you see on like social media, like TikToks, they don't look like that all day. They in sweats, hair in the
But wait, the memes, check this out. But the memes, how many times have we all seen this meme, right? When she comes out in her best lingerie and this is how I'm sitting on the bed waiting for her. And it's a fucking ogre with a big gut. Women, first of all, are more vain than men. So even on our down days, we're like, okay, let me look kind of. Men don't give a fuck at all. Like I said, I want one of you up here on this panel to tell me when's the last time you went into some fucking Macy's or something and say, you know what? I'm gonna get that fitted fucking tank top to match these fucking Calvin Kleins that make my dick sit just right and my ass look good. And I'm wearing this next time I walk in the room. When's the last time y'all did that? Y'all are boring. That is why women leave.
I rock suits. So she see me suited and booted.
No.
Oh, that suit again.
Wait.
I got multiple suits.
No. I did that about two months ago, mainly due to the fact that you know what I mean. That month I was in the gym.
You stuttering, Haran. You stuttering.
Jen,
listen.
The better question would be, when's the first time?
That's a deeper conversation. Well, anyway,
I want a divorce. I want a divorce, y'all.
Listen. Now, what Jen is saying, I understand that. And I have told a number of dudes, like, this is one of the reasons why you have to maintain your testosterone levels. You got to stay in the gym. You have to have that eagerness in your heart, because a lot of times if you do not have fitness a part of your life, if you do not pay attention to your testosterone levels, your shit is going to drop. And your body's gonna get complacent. You're gonna get a gut. You're gonna get, you know what I mean. You're not gonna have as much motivation as you had before, and all those things are gonna spill into your life. You know what I mean. You have to maintain cutting. You have to be cutting edge as a man going on into your years, especially your older years, man.
Oh, and if she's on social media,
I got a question, Jen.
And if she's on social media, woo, the men that are on social media today, I follow all of them. Let me tell you.
Which means I also want to say one thing. When I say take care of your testosterone, which means getting on some degree of supplementation or getting on TRT. I'm being very honest with you, man.
You're right.
If you're gonna,
I'm on TRT. I'll tell you right now, I am.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because
as
men lose testosterone as you get older.
You do. Yes, you do.
They hit that
you can turn vegan.
Hold
up, y'all.
You do, man.
Hold up, you can turn vegan and all your problems will vanish in a month.
I gotta go.
Period.
George wanted to ask me something. ¿Qué fue?
But okay, if you get into, like, I just started getting into fragrances and colognes, does that kind of like
hell yeah.
Yes.
Oh hell yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Oh hell yeah. You know how many I wanted to jump on and walk past me because they smell good.
YSL, my man.
So good.
Delon Levon, you're absolutely right. Single men testosterone levels is higher than married men. Yeah, of course it is, because you're out there in the wild.
Yeah, and single men and some single and
you're hunting.
And single men are usually in their 20s.
Right.
No, just like listen to me. I'm telling y'all, that is what women, that is what we talk about when the girls get together. We're always, you know what I mean, bated breath, eyes open this wide, ears open this big, talking to the girlfriend that's talking about some crazy sex she just had. And what happens? The wives and the girlfriends go home and they look at you in that same fucking set of underwears, right? And we can't help it. Women are like that. We can't help it. We hear that story from that girl, then we come home, we try to hint to it, and what do guys do? I don't want to see that movie. I don't want to see no 50 Shades of Grey. You better fucking listen. Because women talk. Women are nasty. Women are nasty.
No, I would say one thing, though. I would say one thing to that. I would say one thing. Men, we go through the same thing, too. We'll sit there and we'll have a guy, maybe a single male friend of ours. He'll talk about some crazy, you know what I mean, sex stories and shit like that. And we got to come home and I
got a headache.
But Pete, this. But women will divorce you for it. Y'all will stay.
That's the difference. That's the difference. Women will leave. We'll put up with this broad for the rest of our lives.
Right.
Man. You know what I mean? And we got to stop that, brothers. We got to stop that. We have to stop that.
Wait. Brienne has a tip. Hi, Mama. Brienne has a tip. She said, getting my husband Versace Eros last Christmas is honestly how I think I got pregnant. Buy it.
I got that. I got that in my cabinet.
With that fragrance, that one smells good.
Right now, my favorite is Chanel de Bleu. I love that fragrance.
Chanel de Bleu.
I've never worn cologne in my life. What does that make me?
A man from Philadelphia. A regular man from Philadelphia. That's what
now y'all gonna come at the city. They sell a lot of, man. That's all these Muslim niggas do is sell oils over here. You know,
that's true. That's true.
Yeah, oils.
And they still sell them oils.
Oil and cologne, brother. Like
it is.
No, for real though. Y'all gotta listen. Things are changing. Things are changing, and y'all better get ready to evolve. Okay, y'all worried about who's feminine and friendly, and I'm telling you, the men that are online now, they ain't like back in the day where it's just women showing off ass and tits. These men are cut like diamonds. They are shiny. They're doing fucking pull-ups and push-ups and bench pressing cars. Okay, they're bench pressing cars and they're running on. You know what I mean? And I'm not athletes. I'm talking about just regular guys that go to the gym. They standing there with the nice underwears.
See that hammer?
Listen, y'all better get with it. Y'all better get with it. Sitting there watching a fucking game, and women walking in from having mimosas with her girlfriend, talking about all kinds of sexual positions, and you sitting there watching the game. She got to walk past you.
The problem with these guys, though, and I'm not saying obviously not all these guys. I work with I do work with guys and they talk about working out all the time. That's all they talk about.
But you don't see it. But you don't see the results, huh?
Man, like I said, I feel bad for you single cats out there.
Do they know how to work out?
You should.
Yeah, you're walking on the treadmill all the time. That's not working out.
That's not working out, man.
You got to feel bad for them, but you got to feel bad for the married dudes
hold
too.
on a second. You said you on the treadmill a lot, George?
No, I'm saying if what they call working out might be like going to the arm machine, doing like 10 sets at 20 pounds or something like that, and then get on the treadmill and walk for 25 minutes, and that ain't working out. And all that.
That's
just if you ain't sweating, if you don't feel like you can't wring out your shirt, you ain't work out.
Yeah, that's just the guys that just joined. They working their way.
They're in there looking at ass. They're like, "Ooh, look at her." That's what they do.
And I'll agree with you that men need to up their game. But do you also think that? And I kind of think you do agree with this, that women overall have maybe unrealistic expectations on some stuff.
Yeah, that's how we live.
50 Shades of Grey. That's unrealistic.
That's like our permanent. Yes, George, I agree with you. That is literally our permanent state of mind.
Yes.
We want
live in fantasy world.
But that also comes from, again, being reared to be little princesses that knights are going to come save, and the handsome guy. I mean, from fucking Disney to books to what our mom, you know what I mean? We grow up constantly looking for that white knight with the square jaw. We're constantly looking for that high. You know what I mean? We're looking for that high.
Truth be told, George, you want women to remain unrealistic, because if they were a little bit more realistic, they wouldn't really be with half of us. You know what I'm saying?
He's telling the truth.
I probably would have missed out on a lot if women.
He's right.
Yeah, you're right, man. They would have just passed me over and said,
He's right. I wouldn't have got half the ass I got.
Because we'll take.
I was broke as hell, and the game got him in bed. Look, listen.
We'll take a regular guy and turn him. We'll put on them rosy colored glasses and we'll turn him into that white knight. So leave it. Let us be Disney.
Let him cook, man.
Oh, one thing I've noticed about dating is like the older I get, is like I've talked to women that my age and up, is like the whole idea of marriage is like kind of like we don't see the point in it. And it's more about pragmatic stuff, really. It's about how well you get along. Yeah, the fucking's there, right? But there's a lot more pragmatic shit. Like you said, the whole wedding thing is fuck that. They're done. And like,
but you know what? If young couples were more pragmatic, they'd last longer. Because they just come in for that party, that vibe. You make me horny at this point in time in my life, and that's why they get married. Like I think you're cool. Age, though.
It's like
you're cool.
You see, you can always look back and be like, damn.
Right. But we can teach. We can talk to these young people. It's not going to be the same. You know what I mean? It's like there's a lot of whimsy when you're young.
When they're like crying over a breakup and they're young, I'm like, listen, when I was your age, I don't even remember the person who I was with, but I remember crying over them, but I can't remember their name.
Right.
So I'm letting you
That's
know,
true.
if when you get my age, you probably won't remember this person's name. Just saying.
Yeah.
So get out there.
It should be more practical. There's a lot of fucking emphasis on that party, boy. That wedding part, that reception, that party, and people dressed in the pretty dresses, and it's attractive to a woman. It's like living in a Barbie house. It's like my dream Barbie house. You know what I mean? Listen, stop being boring, y'all. Y'all are fucking boring. And I'm gonna keep reminding y'all that. All of you.
Boring. Ladies, women, y'all stop being boring too.
Every date that I've ever been on, right? I've never had
being boring.
On a date.
Stop switching it because women leave. Women leave. It doesn't matter that women are boring too, because they'll take their boring asses down to the divorce court.
Men leave without going anywhere though.
What sense does that make?
It means dollars in cents.
Yeah. Their financial ramifications.
Right. I mean, but y'all stay and you stay miserable. Women just leave.
No, not necessarily. You don't.
Hey, look, listen. Well, they say
depends on how my football team's doing.
Yo. That's why I will never get married. I won't do it. I will not do it. I will not do it.
It's the cooking the frog concept, where it's like just as long as the fire is low at first, and you put that frog in it, you just keep turning it up just a little bit after a while, the frog will know that he's cooking. You know what I mean? Because the pain tolerance just kept raising just a little bit and a little bit.
I think I can get married if we live in different houses.
Yes.
Wow. That's what I'm telling you.
That is the only way
I
can do it. That's the only way I can do it.
My last girl, we did that.
I'd be very comfortable if you had your own space and I had my own space. And I'm not talking about just I'm in the den, a whole other house.
No. So y'all live in like different. So y'all live in like different houses. You get to keep your name. You don't have to wash any dishes or shit like that.
I wash when I'm over there.
You might be married now.
When I'm over there.
Hey, Jen, everybody, the woman that lives next to
me.
I'm celibate.
Don't look at me. Don't talk to me. We live in different houses.
Hold up, y'all. I want to throw shit in the game now that the
conversation. Wait, George was going to say something. George did try to jump in. He did try to jump in.
The woman that lives next to me, her husband lives a block over her ex-husband. And I asked her one day, I said, Rose, not try to get in your business, but was it one of those things you love him, but you couldn't, you two couldn't live with each other? And she said, that's what it is. He comes over here like every day, checks on her. They go buy groceries together. But then when they come home, he goes his way, she goes hers.
I have a friend.
I love that.
I have a friend who's been married for 50 years, and 25 of them they've been apart, and they are they're the best, they are the best friends ever. And then I put a question on Facebook about a year ago, and I said, "Would you ever entertain living in separate houses and being married?" I was so shocked. at the time. Now I've learned a lot, so I'm not. But I was at the time was so shocked by how many married women said, damn, I wish I would have negotiated those terms before I got married. I think I would be more happier in my marriage.
Well, the man wouldn't have agreed to it, though.
That's never what I'm saying. The man wouldn't have agreed to it, but the women, it was so many women. I had like 300 comments or whatever, and it was so many women in the comments saying like, yes, if they weren't married, and if they were married, saying, damn, I wish I would have, negotiated that in the beginning, or damn, I might try to negotiate that now. Like, I don't know if it's too late.
Men ain't what's called. Men ain't.
It's hard. It's not easy. It's not easy to live with men. It's not.
What?
It's not. No.
Depending on the what?
It's not.
That can get
Are
real
you
simple.
somebody like me, man?
It's not that hard.
What? Listen,
all women have always gotten
I'm
along
not
with me.
gonna lie. I'm not gonna
listen. But look at it. The way I want to decorate my home, the colors I use, how I keep my food. There's a lot of shit you got to put up with when you're cohabiting. It's like I do my dishes this way, and I do the forks and spoons this way, and I do my laundry this way. There's a lot of shit that you got to mesh when you could just be at peace and zen in your own place, and he could be at his own place doing his thing with his browns and neutrals and greens, and I could be in my house with the silvers and the plush rugs. You know what I mean? And then we just
Jen,
different houses.
Right? Most of the married people houses you've been in, right? The woman decorates the crib, and the man has like a den off somewhere that's got all his posters and shit.
Yes.
And you would be over at that dude's house decorating it, because you'd be like, if I come over here, it better be tight.
Plus, I know the woman's going to decorate the house
his
better
style.
Anyway. She's going to make it better anyway.
Yes. And I'll have my little cubby. I have my cubby and stuff. You know what I mean?
And he'll have separate towels for you.
Yes.
Hand towels. He'll have a razor for you so that you're not using his razor.
Yes.
And
I've been in a situation like that before, and it was quite divine, especially when you're two different people.
Now, and I'm loving it. I ain't gonna lie, I'm loving it.
Hey, as a bachelor, y'all, I kept a female kit at my house at all times, clean, fresh, everything. Towels, washed off, make sure the sheets is new, everything.
I make sure to have more than one bathroom. I'm not sharing no bathroom with a woman.
That's another. That's another thing.
You won't be in the bathroom very long. No.
I hog up the bathroom. Like, you would think that I'm just starting a whole cult or something.
Yeah, I'm not sharing no bathroom with a woman. No,
chicks that don't wear weave are only in the bathroom like 10 minutes, man. Tops.
No, not this one. Not this one.
Wait, I just need the tax benefits. I would gladly live in a separate house if the taxes are worth it.
Facts.
Look, we're going into 4 hours. All the people that told me, all the people that were like, I'm only doing 2 hours.
It happens.
All right, but I checked on y'all at the. No, I checked on you. I checked on y'all. I checked on y'all at the 2 hour mark. Nobody slided my DMs talking about we can't do that no more.
Oh, we can do it.
We can't do 4 hours no more.
Jen, all you have to say is Kevin Samuels, and their things will stick straight up, and they'll go for another 2 hours. That's how it works here.
Well, there's still a lot of people watching us. So I hope my likes equal the people lurking, because y'all are lurking hard tonight.
Oh, really?
They are fixed on us tonight. Hi, everybody. So we out of here.
So how did Tyre Nichols end up being Kevin Samuels in this whole thing? Because I left.
Yeah, how'd you make that connection? Oh, you know how we do. This is the block. This is the block.
We just talk shit.
Yeah, it's literally.
We get to talking shit after we talk about the serious shit.
So we just talking shit. Okay, thank God.
Yeah, we just talking shit after the serious shit, and it was serious. It was serious.
It was
I don't know why everybody hate that dude so much. He wasn't even in the top 5 worst manosphere dudes.
True.
Not top 10.
He was the top 5.
He was the most mild manosphere nigga there was.
When I heard him, it did nothing.
I thought he was funny.
Yeah,
I thought he was funny.
It didn't do anything for me. It was like I was like, okay, whatever. Like,
it was good. It was good entertainment.
Funny,
you think Cynthia G's funny?
Oh my God! Her vocabulary is divine, right? And she's a wizard the way she uses it. She reels you in like Yoda. You know what I'm saying? I'm dead.
Is she still scamming?
Okay,
She's the
so
best freestyler out there, dog. I don't agree with shit she says, but her freestyle is unmatched. That shit is hilarious.
Okay, well,
all
this
right,
goes for
okay.
different
So,
folks.
right. So, I think that Kendra G and Kevin Samuels have a very entertaining platform. Like they
Yes.
knew how to deal with people when they came on and stuff like that. I think Kendra's funny. I think Kevin is funny. It's funny because people have told Kendra that she bit off Kevin Samuels and shit like
So
that.
what?
But I don't know. No, absolutely. So what? Like
What?
it's
Isn't
they're
that the
both
best
funny.
form
They're
of
both funny.
flattery, imitation? How does that shit go?
Yeah. All right, guys, my fucking battery is about to die, so we got to get out of here, or I'm gonna be
Peace,
gone
y'all.
anyway.
You must
I got
have the
some
same battery
chocolate
as
cake
me.
to get. Yeah, I baked a cake because I'm fit, feminine, and friendly, and I got to get to my cake. I baked a
Don't
chocolate
fall
cake.
for it, y'all. Don't fall for it. It's a novelty. It's a novelty.
Yeah, she listen. She full of shit. See,
Haran, did I not bake a cake? Haran, did I not? I baked a cake.
Is he at your
Chocolate
house? How you know that?
fudge.
Okay,
Chocolate.
y'all.
I bake because I'm fit, feminine, and
The
friendly.
same cake that she'll use to cut the knife with. I mean, the same knife she
The
used to
same
cut the
thing
cake
to cut
with.
the
I'm
cake with.
just saying. I'm
Lily,
not
Lily, don't start no be none.
I'm just
They
saying.
gotta act right. They gotta give me some act right.
Like, yeah, just eat
And
the
I'll
cake.
bake cakes.
Right.
I'll bake cakes.
Eat the cake and act right.
Oh,
Eat the cake, Damien. Eat the
pause.
cake.
well, the
Eat the
qualifier
cake.
is if you're not a guy and she hasn't cursed you out on none of her panels, you'll probably get a piece of cake. Everybody else, you're gonna get cut. That's how it goes.
Cake or
So
cut. Cake or
I
cut.
was watching Chucky the other night. He's got a series. Like he's running all, and he stays getting the drop on everybody. His little 3, 4 foot ass is getting the
I
drop
thought you
on.
was about to say he reminded you of me. Don't play with me.
No. Listen, no.
he does.
The fact that this little motherfucker had this long ass knife and was able to be viciously violent and get the drop on motherfuckers. Yes, for
See,
a quick
Brienne
moment.
bakes too. Brienne bakes too. I still bake. I like
No,
baking. It's
listen,
relaxing.
yes, but for a quick moment, I was like, I wonder if this is how Jen looks when she's actually on a nigga neck with a goddamn knife. I actually did think that.
Oh wait, I have a photo.
You do
You have a
not.
photo.
Yes,
No,
I
you
do.
don't.
Because she did it on the block. Yes, she did. I showed it to you with the 2 puffs in your hair. I showed it to you.
What you got, Tristan?
I'm not gonna show it because you didn't like it because you like I look too crazy.
Oh, okay.
You had the Chun-Li puffs in your head.
Oh my goodness.
I,
Donovan said, FedEx me some cake. Come out to Vegas. We're going to cook in the house. Come out to Vegas. Anyway, that's a different conversation. I don't want to get into that right now. Let's get out of here. My battery is low. I'm about to lose everybody. I see y'all mañana.
All right.
Take
All
care.
Good night,
right.
everybody. Thanks.
all right. So
Good
am I
night.
dismissing the class or we out of here?
Yes, you're dismissing the class.
Yeah,
Okay,
hurry
so
up because my battery is gone.
okay. Listen, since I was gone, the reason why I was gone because I found Jen's diary. All right, and I found this little poem. So everybody, put me on the big screen. So
Uh-oh.
when I was
Bye,
going
Code
through the
Red.
diary, this is what I found. This little poem that she wrote. Roses are red, people are fake. I stay to myself so I won't be on the first 48.
You got to send me that, Tristan.
I love you all. Class dismissed.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. And I love you all. This was amazing. Good times, good times. This is what it's about. All right. I am out of here. If you're still here for any reason, hit that like and subscribe for me. Hope you enjoyed this evening. It was really, really dope. I will see you back here tomorrow. Don't forget, if you want to support the show, Cash App on the Block with Jen while I am off air. Hey, Brienne, I hope you got everything. Donovan, see you mañana. Lily, love you. Love everybody. Goodbye. Thank you for contributing. I'm out of here because my battery is literally on E. Good night, guys. See you tomorrow. Bye.